Well, Busavo, good evening. Welcome. So, Eba Jasu Jumedie. So, you are live on OK 101.7 FM near partner radio stations across the world. You know, you are live on OK FM Facebook, and you find us on Facebook on OK 101.7 FM. Uber find it so live, so Vim Lady Online with YouTube. You're live on High Life Radio, and you're live on King's Jersey Radio, New Jersey. You're live on NASPA Radio, London, and you're live also. Ewa Danfopa Media, Ewa Belgium, and France, Paris, Abontin. So you're live, so me got you FM all the way. Ewa Kukren to me. Tiamo, good evening, be only a kwaba because a corruption charges be Atlantia. It appears that Attorney General just open so chinkro for gum. But they say Attorney General doing in a media frenzy. And we will put it to Attorney General so bet share on chintem. Na onya reasonable evidence beyond reasonable doubt to bet me prosecuting Akuffo because they say AI didn't say it. The issue has moved from just mere allegations or mere accusations into say tarnishing Akuffo reputation if it turns out say Attorney General need proper evidence because see and not just everyday evidence sweeping evidence you where your criminal charges now can against some people and you need to prove beyond reasonable doubt. Enti say oh kochi obia emrani so you must have reasonable suspicion, reasonable grounds. Baudru kota a reasonable doubt and it was a beyond reasonable doubt and also prove the case. Nti enyan kwala I we'll come back to that but nanado eso akwa NPP for candidate here omu nyina ase omu pese omu gina no che say me candidate bia say wo ye mafia you cannot be more mafia than another. You cannot be more mafia than President Akuffo. In social meeting now, Okoye and that is on News Center for front page and nano. Just a campaign on merits and integrity service. President Akuffo put to the man and this is exactly what I said to Bryan Acheampong and Canada, Japan, for that matter, all the candidates. This is what I said. Party full soldiers will be come up for there. It no be your issue with the might be your coins into Momo IQ low. But exactly as I'm making a present in Addo, so catch a potentials all those aspirants say mobe campaignia men campaign is an Bawumia wafaka prama men campaign was about Bawumia majini siano men campaign was about Bawumia wanyare men campaign on Bawumia susu man for fire a Canada Japan. And Canada Japan about Kokana Canada Japan, the attempt Canada Japan needs to buy. That is completely irrelevant to a Jumana or Moko Yeno. But yo, Obiti said Tony Edu, now New Center for Front Page, Tony Edu, who was a former defense minister under President Rawlings, was saying, say, Obiti said Canada Japan, Shana, Onia Wande, that is an interesting issue. A issue that people ought to know. Delegation. As I said, Canada Japan can't put to me bad on Tebeka say, oh. Canada Japan or cancel or non-Casaya, they must give up because I know they will be raising a relevant issue. And other aspirants probably will use it against Canada Japan. But a footwear president, Akuffo can a bayan Akuffo so mutie campaign on issues. And to be fair, so far Canada Japan or yenim say in the past, and aspirants in Kono no yachen obia. Enti de Bryan Acheampong ye nka wo Bryan Acheampong kwanka funu no agro nka be funu se ba ne se ye mfa ya nkofo nka ken o fire che obia nko no nko ma agro na funu mu nyina but nkofo ne kasa ya o change ye no on say Canada Japan is not doing important ahead through kind of politics ni bi because on wa we a lesson enti wo a wo ya tie Bryan Acheampong wo future no you should also not tread on say yina. And then I will to Bawumia, now to Bawumia, and then a friends and Gideon Bwakone Bawumia camp have also been forced to come and attack because so far even a Bronya no cry and Akuffo claims of Bawumia camp. So far, who Bryan Acheampong send an attack you. And can't say Ken Hoside Neko. And I want Bawumia no so claim say Onimshe. It is a Mumubaya Mojuma Munya decently because then I make us say Shamu won't say every day corruption. Everyday corruption. Now, some fertilizer semi Gideon Bwakoko raise against Bryan Acheampong. Say, Attorney General Kaso or Fanwell look into it. I said, Moana Masobeshi. Attorney General on your pink crowd, Mbako court. Because for Attorney General, it appears say NDC no more diversionary taxes. And today be or mama sembe sorry biano. Because even NDC and Kasa, this issue is not even doing good to NDC. Because when you say this week, yeah, President Mama Kokati sword for major takradi kept coast dual carriage. And so corruption, I say me akata so. NPP for say me akata so. And so this is a major project that the people of Takrady, the people of Cape Coast, the people of Ghana, you know, ought to know, say President Mama, oh yeah, baby. Oba yenche, but he's delivering something. The akana, oh yeah, fire no, but at least he's doing something. So yeah, Takrady Road, dual carriage. This is a road I say. Mianka sama faso. Ekwaina nye. Nye. It is all yeah, bibia. Who attorney general no so who position who cases now position ye a free sign this by ye in 10 months money what coin sign every day who got you be every day who be court every day who prefer charges so who can't be anyone has started properly now ya case where the trial hearing has begun. Attorney general, you control the wheels now court near the year the more you pile pressure on the court the faster the court will work because when I attorney general there are some privileges that ordinary lawyers need in the court, but who are certain that you have? And to push a case, no. So one of the cases, and I am a day give to a case, no. Give to a need how attorney general is dealing with it, and they like it. Dana how more they call court no show ya and Monchenemra court the next day. On Yaribia Monchenemra court. Send a court and a lawyer show ya. I said their judge in the kind. They must provide evidence of sickness. Oh, yeah, now the court hospital records are basa yare because no service issue no. Oh, charges so now can report na massa. Ghana ni bia you must cry. You must cry. This is an issue. And when I say everybody is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But when you say NPP for no work, they flag that they were saying and the NPP chief of staff craft flag is and Akuffo na recash. Because and you see, and it's very interesting till and then give to away case or him cry was saying then to no be on National American. And sign am about a buffer stock boss Canadian because buffer stock boss you also claim so nim hwe. Enti ever Akuffo Addo de ani sia nam say but Akuffo Addo kire mo so oye mafia chemo. Enti wo Bryan Acheampong edu twumo Bawumia o Canada Japan mu se mu nyina bra president Akuffo Addo so oyi musuli ya masa enka one. Also ye campaign etiamo enter one. Enti efutuo no de ma mu betia muntie ni now or forever hold your peace. So say munye decent campaign. Enye sa me maka che dada 2028 mo ye campaign ama NDC mbeluzu. Se mo anye decent, mo anye discipline, mo ahwe manu ye because Bawumia you can throw Bawumia away. But you can't throw Bawumia away with the dirty water. So often say Bawumia nye mpo. Oh, attack Bawumia na attack one Kasato party. Don't forget this is the same party opposite Obelidi. And two did the party na them. Be na Kennedy Japan the emperor no po chire mu say oh na NPP for mpo no odi o matemu once I call ya asambe chire Kennedy Japan fe he's having to struggle to defend himself and explain himself. It's munya careful. Mo NPP for munya very careful. Agro na mudi no e agro bone e futu Akuffo Addo de amamo no na no Monday me kan bi chire mo antia and na mo amase mutie so ebebo am nyesa 2028 the NDC doesn't even have to campaign opposition na mo beko akotena na mo akakre opposition ya mo kotena yakwa na mo hwehwe mu mo ho papa mo amu complaining mahama na mahama na mahama china na mo beko another 8 years and anka mo nkata mbete pa eti muntie futuo na me say obi anye political paratiki experienced politician wa bia shit say Akuffo Addo eti otumufo a na motie otumufo a na motie because he knows what's on the ground. Enti na no na make na bi mo say o mebo me say mo de mo ye na make a low IQ mo the baby aye wura no mo wura ho nti don't worry esema yet no mo nti don't worry me say President Akuffo Addo not support Bawumia oni Bawumia ya fall out kakra or he's pretending to manage and I have some inside feel about me person mechanic say I mean yeah primaries no area mema mo sa feel no say or support Bryan Acheampong kakra because oni ni nyina dey feel Eastern region na Bryan Acheampong jeje nanim na say ono abeko campaign we na osika san me si buse Akuffo Addo wako campaign na 3 times e dey na osika san enti munya very careful agro na mudi no enya agro ketwa this is so market and waiting for you. Some conform yes we are president mama na gains and cobe select back which is how they do so General Mosquito ato forcing or Julius Zebra no so every omo say ya ko Professor Jena no pokwa my life And it's a munima, se president yakonyo so our more power, not just abonting, not just amude munim suli ye Akuffo Addo be yimo no mo nkasa mbete pa nti montina hoye. Enti yanko give to why there no so say give to why issue way. How the Attorney General is dealing with it, to me, I like it. I like it in terms of the fact, say, what kind of report to know? And how to say, hey, sister, hey, a person is innocent and to proving guilty. Hey, because apparently, no, Attorney General, you say, ni kunu as prosecution witness, suspect. Muntieni, let me back up. Me say, Attorney General, or Francis the Yukunu, I'm a media dance yet yamami. Why? Because what's a company in the report, no national service report, no company or on the side, or the new Ghana card, and then a driver Ghana card, and a company no mutu no driver ni kuno musi omuni. At least that is what they are saying. Say omuni more, and or the omudi and ko be account. And sika here billion yet yagusa company no account. Now I don't know. Say nipa o ya de akra o senka o sade we ye be to make traces so. Juma no omunya because a national service so enye university for ne poly for kwa na post o mu se mu vocational for ne ade a omu to me post o mu to say volunteers ne ade or the omu nyina kan ho. And there were companies ye post nkola ni because they were non-existent companies but omu tie brofo no adjective no me use no ye non-existent companies any asase so in some companies and not transfer volunteers kogu ho and the volunteers were in some 4 volunteers and no do omo call ho and sikari to me ye chia in advance and sa companies no company na fetire no makwa akwaje and it's easy to track these things. It I don't know say to de bia ade mu a o ya minim se power o se dey o se tirimude o eba utirima na afa bibia it's serious. Now, not same way it's a lesson to NDC for Acheampong. Any obia or beba that obia ubenya post. Se ball proof to crani at the bema. KVIP manager crani at the bema. Simple te ku de kotu hanama. Remember, say it can be traced, it can be tracked. How do you form a company? What do you gunu Ghana card? What do you drive a Ghana card? Meanwhile, you interview, you drive any statement, you new crew statement or two, and you mean I'm a Ghana card. Minti company bia unim company was minim o Ghana card na was minim ye ko check signature na e wo company na account so a signature. You see we yes sir yesu kra ba se obe defend o kra yesu kra be bre give you up yesu wa ba se obe defend o in fact mam fa yesu kra nya example bonsam kra ba se obe defend o kwa bonsam na ka so obe give you up on you. This is the case that is going to court. And every court now see or imagine a passport, and rightfully so imagine a passport because can be 38 million Ghana cedis. What they call them? What they call them? But see, any on ask him because I do baby no, and also behind closed door, not officially on a first a witness and not accused person statement. So she didn't indicate that in the statement. But behind closed doors, my investigation say. Omo pesika de akobua party na party for no masuma wana and say ya too. The question is about to me the evidence yaba court ama wa ba be kire court say party for na say in any case unya evidence cross at the bar it's immaterial to the charge against you because charge and say for that you on this day within the jurisdiction of this court did commit an offense then stealing saying appropriation it will be catch a court to cross say oh man not court to see they can prove say stealing Ghana ye law anymore and for that matter a lot of countries are not here stealing a case what bokrono ofa ade na ye benkum now the court nifa with the agiri etrim power boni say baby e da onifa no on sign fan konkoto one my stealing and what the batu benkum na say undi ye kra agiri e wo utrim ne say on sign fan koto obi no is stealing. This is the charge that is the facing. And imagine say one kasa ukunu witness Adansi Attorney General against you. Into the and some there one here it be shama. And some be shama sister of course everybody constitutionally there's a presumption of innocent and to proving so beyond reasonable doubt. We all know say she's not guilty yet. But when you read such a report, na reporting over what. And I just say, I told the beer, oh yeah, bonnet, so I found who see it, give your wife. Found who see it. Missy, she was all over the place, give your wife. Now, oh, JDN. Apart from scholarship, the I'm back. I know the scholarship, the Ghana citizen, be whether your party ni, and now your party who apply near the Mawa, who apply the winner. Into nobody is not about this issue. And the morally, in our bet me holding against it, say, why the scholarship, ama ukunu, ama a plane ticket crack, and I just say, oh, to me, yes, scary. And to get from scholarship, I was uncle ama ukunu, for what some fun and masters. Meanwhile, here for contomera, what is saying, yeah, the idea Sikako school. Yeah, the idea Sikako school. Yanji about scholarship gets man the beyond scholarship secretary and crack it and kitty a goon cry. Obi Fukumasi techi mine when Chino about and cry to a scholarship. This is our banning party Nibia beda and son ye the Nidianka scholarship and yet who be national service a year will pay Corbett me and Bobo and who can school can so you okay. Or quiet the masters here, money quiet the masters here. What they get for scholarship included tickets here, who are we and get in Unya into a ponsaska way allegation at the bone. Oh, kwakosra ukunu wa abroche and I saw Nikunu graduate your call for joining Nikunu graduation in your ticket no say can scholarship no. They here for ma kontomre rafo, body rafo, bidi rafo, kerosene rafo, and in nam no munya scholarship. And kwalankiti nyina de omhu Afghanistan kwan ya scholarship wo hon ma no because get fund scholarship secretariat scholarship no matter so I and cronies parties girlfriend boyfriends abroni beye na mo na do fam se mmeye se adwuma we a e ka o se sa abre na do fam fia no hwem nyina enim go ase amode agu no o so fake no hwem nyina give to why number 1 hwem nyina one by one he must clean you people flip you people abro young woman menya short to bedroom age got 38 million Ghana cedi. Why is your name being mentioned in a scandal like that? Na ukunu me for me that even gives you away. Say your husband is testifying against you. Ukunu Ghana card. Why we are and that is even at the money. That is a very, very malicious intended person. So for Ukunu Ghana card, there could be a company. Because me read the report, then because say Nikunu no kahon. Say I don't know it my canana. And I work at the company now. No, it most siphony national service. Share national service phone call me banadia. Sika crowd ya working on food and drugs. Ono so honam pe job ntie ne fra no pa onte bre a ompon no hyem kolei ono po de tamani akola nti ono yoke ono de ka akra na kwa adwuma oyoke oti ase but wo de ochu akola bi ofia krasia ba be pechi obi nchen e wo bi a pent hostel ana hostel fia bi madina hofie no ma kabom no ma rent da na omutim enkola we salary national service kana ya say ya mo giadi now I saw the ghost names yakogum and conform the 100 ewom and conform the obi 3 years needing wom. Why give your worry? Why? Now you see G Sikano or the Koto team. Because of give your worry oh yeah your brain has to be studied. Why you are interested? Where your case where I was see I do your Netflix documentary. Your case where I was see I do your Netflix documentary. Because we are now the Koto football team. So that's about GFA. Now GFA no so what me a man when you're grinding with GFA now protect. Why would you do that? Now we are number one and I said number 1 2. Just yeah good man must say. And I know that there's a presumption of innocence there. Innocence. But I'm saying say the fact that we are bad now is part of this issue no is for me problematic to me. Me pass a man no so. Enti man kakra position we want a man to be where about Buana Ghana konanim. But you're moving on from scandal. I have more filler on this and I'll bring it subsequently. But AG me say Attorney General here to say media charade no dosun. Attorney General 10 months in here and now be prosecute way. Or time say give to any Dr. Mustafa Hamid Mukesi na was started. There could be our evidence they must have started already. We are tired. We are tired of the media campaign, propaganda, media trial. This is trial by the media. But court start the case already and go and prove it for our evidence. Because you see, how do I have or see this is Attorney General so no pay any finding. Onya fan court, but see, pay on any finding no. Buffer stock, papa no. Ne yire nye adwuma your housewife. But ne yire no over 61 luxury. Now, is that a crime to own luxury bags? na se site ni na for Dubai anane na sa luxury bags no be kan e fake be dey ho Attorney General, can you tell the difference between an original Louis Vuitton or original Marc Jacobs and also original Chanel? But can you tell the difference between that and the fake one? How can you say that Maminu could a luxury bag 61? Luxury watches, some costing 1.5 million. Oh yeah, calculate. Did you want to certify the bags and the watches? Because China for fake, you know. Sometimes, especially local Dubai, also original. I can hash poppy. And funny my baby and babunkami so a lot of the things now hash poppy channel. Now good the baby so now original Louis Vuitton and a Chanel no. And Attorney General Pato, go take them to court. Take them to court. Why? Take them to court if you have evidence. Let them come to court and defend themselves. Nene Oforiata or China say, Mama so ba fast talk of boss is so why? Because you young cremophobia. Cremophobia decent. And cremophobia. And in cremonidia, you must not be mentioned in a scandal like that. Eh? A friend saying, Attorney General say, how can Abdul Wahab, who exited Buffer Stock in 2024, with a salary of Pani Coffee, and salary of 28,000 a month? Neyere, who 5,000 Ghana cedis, but many a housewife paying in a salary as a housewife, no, 5,000 and you couldn't demand. But Otuminya Sika at the top a dime, $1.6 million a chain homes. And no, dear, a Buffer Stock boss, you must prove your source of funding. But you see, Yera Attorney General, there is no crime that says that Obiwe Japadiana, you cannot explain a source of funding a crime. There's nothing in the criminal code like that. Attorney General, me crime a baby student, you know. I know, say, there is no crime in Act 29 that says Obi was dying and now was assassin. None board, not any panel to me, baby, it can only free a crime. It's not a crime. If you can prove he's stealing, prove it. Said Nipano for kind of the Kotoy. Prove that one. But the mere fact that our dying 1.6 million, but he cannot show fund, no, and yet crime. I guess I would ever call the days of AFRC, any PNDC, you know, catch one man, one toilet, because people cannot prove their source of funding. Massa, for 5 so be all 5 city be an for because Rollins and Croft only soldiers they couldn't prove their source of funding. And we are saying now people who were part of the PNDC government were only more than one house, one man, including Rollins name. Boom Jackson, I hine oho. Aji gano ni fie ne oho no I toilet hine oho. Ni fie ne also ga kopene yahe. But it was justified to us, oh, a former president, so you can have. But Sebi, Abdul Wahab, the oya John. Abdul Wahab, the oya monkey. Abdul Wahab, the oya, hey. Attorney General, if you be steady, you're serious. If you have evidence of any stealing, you must go to court. Stop disturbing us. Now, me catch you for your attack. If you have any evidence, go to court and stop defending her. Because Abdul Wahab, Nakasa say, Attorney General corruption claims against me, no, are untrue. And do not reflect the facts of the matter. Papa ni si anya no kre. So now, AG is your word against him. Or see asema oke nyina so ato dan 1.6 anya no kre. Ebi kra yo winya de. Ebi a o waheda obi ni nua bi na danfo bi wa abroche no so ontoma no. And all this can be go na account no auto ama no pacho. Prove your evidence or forever hold your peace, Attorney General. Ehunhuna no doso. Say your friends legal bullying. That is what is becoming. It's becoming legal bullying. You are using your position as Attorney General to bully everybody. If you have evidence, rush to the court, prosecute the people, and leave us alone. What you say? Because say the LGBT bill not back parliament. We don't know what. Move focusing on issues. LGBT, what do you major campaign? Go and pass it. Because they say the leader catch and they say LGBT needs to lane before parliament. Nah, it has already been passed. But tell President Mama to sign it. If you don't want to, and I'm surprised on this matter there, Sam George and Kasa, Sam George, and now there you can no longer talk. Sam George, MPA or MP so. Sam George, MP, they say, well, you can no longer talk, and I said now, all of a sudden, you've lost your voice. You can't talk. Sam George, use the same film now, the chase DSTV for chase this one. This is a private member's bill. It's in Parliament. Constitution say bill be able pass must not be of a public charge. Yet you say, but Sam George, defend this because the way you were vehemently defending, don't come and give us any excuses. Say, oh, and now the President Mahama is saying that it's going to be a public charge. We don't care. Do it. The bill is back in Parliament. Won't pass my say ye be lebie ma ye de abeto but ye lebie ma mpacho mo pass ma ye free mo pass ma yen na ye free. This is what we are doing. Mo pass ma, but I'm saying, so you see all these issues now make at this week President Mahama commission major road Takrady lane or yan double lane Takrady road President Mahama. And so Attorney General the shenanigans when you know divert attention from the success of President Mahama Juma Oye. At least 24-hour economy in my, and we are waiting on President Mahama for that. But until then, at least we have seen President Mahama so yet Takrady road double lane, a road that I say one of the things that Takrady for didn't forgive President Akuffo for. Say why yet Takrady main road no. Now ordinary start to Sanko see Takrady say market circle say then. Now just say that was very a poor decision. One of the poorest decisions in the Akuffo's government. Yes, I start because you and President Mahama buy or the a year kwako see one more no double lane. Attorney General, don't divert attention from here, my President Mahama. Focus with you, go to court already. We are tired of you. And cyber bullying and legal bullying now. Ode mayen, obeya no aye. Papa ni say you can also we are buffer stock no we are here. Also where we are, patro take him to court. The engineer ye who the ebeye. Me come in your bema ho Elvis ida kona me ne Elvis that can kono ye editor man newspaper way a news sentence. I no pay be able to me follow because big stories in your breaking. In fact, Nana don't aspirants in your meeting, Elvis in the breaking any issues a course. And then we are going to go into all the candidates. A friends a Bryan Acheampong, Omunyina, a friends in Canada, Japan, on one so Elvis that concern any Tony Edu ye meeting now, Tony Edu say. On any interview, Tony Edu say Canada, Japan, yare. It's a bear on red draw now. We'll go into all those issues and deal with it now on just. Your friend with him, lady. If you can fire now on TSA, you can fire back. No insult because only low IQ people insult. I had it. We debate issues vigorously with passion and vim, but no insult. Ube kan wasem and what can wasem. Jasu nye. Mami ko Eveza ko good evening. Akwa ba jasu jumedie. So thank you for joining us in America.
Good evening, yeah.
How is that here?
Nyami Addo me ho ya na also eh.
Great. Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, but see a NPP for primaries in Bayanko lady issue. Give to a case you none was your already. Emma court make us some money password. I think or margin password. What do you make of that scandal in?
Well, if you are see such a development national service and yet the kind President Mahama and son of the free office in the first term, I think around 2014. Now, you had a similar scandal. Our national service, every two Ghana for you the enemy. And no dear, and then paying for no more Accra and yet chi nipa across the country. Sad time, no so not asset. Nipa dodoa, yes, you do omudi shemu as ghost names. And so now 70,000.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm at the then head of national service, Alaji Imoro. I'm a chino, I'm a money bill. As I'm no court back home, and then Obi Sarasam the police saying, yen to me, we didn't know the end of that case because Omuka some of the Akuffo Mutia, I assume Mutia, a can I may be Mutia until Mutia can am buying back and forth, and I'm buying 83 or Akuffo Abamba, ye who say Omukodi is our case nechi. Into the case, no Ghana for Bisagan and National Service Scandal now AC 2014, 2015 now. You can't want to be brave no. Neyu ye say obi antumi nkyere.
Do okay sika na involved in that in President Mahama National Service scandal no?
Oh yeah, no so na sika no so. Sa mre no ya ka be say 200 or over 200 million. It's got that time so no sika no so. And so na so cry about 200 million at that time. And you know the ACCC and say ghost name at National Service there. Enya the fufuro enya say be in see that. And I'm 2014, 2015 the same similar issue happening. Mahama President Mahama Breso. But onu free power na Akuffo aban ba ya ante ho hwe biom. Nti na obi sa obi access our case no. Na ewie ye ni sen a me yes no bi sa me nim. Nti the abasisi ya no Ghana for the omo be so omo tene se asem no ye dia court ama ye di asem dia be ewieye ama ya kasa nipa odi fo ana odi bim en na Ghana for person omuti press conference bebrebe ya attorney general ye nyina no enye ne na ye court enye no so na ye se obi di bim ana obi di fo ente e ba no saa sometimes no wan hwe obaka koka bibi e kina bi se nipa no kodi bim a ete se dia waka no nyina no wagu nipa ne ho fi nipa na kodi bim saa nyama na waka fa ne ho nyina no otumi nkosesa ne biom ente mi de bia maka se attorney general di anka o office a court na se woko enye press conference na se oba so at least we court na we di bim na court a convict nipa no na person we hu press conference mini we adwene and the mini we adwene pa se case na yewie nipa no yesi we di for as court a this can na court so nko dem now so adwuma no we di abayo yen se we boga na fo amane a anka bini ne ya adwene by the case no nya anko court na ene press conference assuming without admitting say case ni ko do court wie na nipa ni ko di nkunimu a na de bebrebe a wakanfa ne ho nyina no ye be de na reverse ye be de na ya restore nipa ni reputation ni image me nya lawyer de but semtro adwuma de kakra ye esua no enti na me bisa enti me de bia me ka say so obi wia Ghana sika once the cry e say ye jiska no e say di mrani nipa ni di because Ghana sika ye nyina ye dia Ghana fo nyina dia ensio na ebi ni ho ekwan na ye kan wasem problem say wo Ghana nyina es Ghana fo sika na say ye den ye di solve is a nipa ba ko bi mienu bi ekofa sika no wo koti kwan so bi na enye kwampa so dia e say me mrani ni di nti me dey am not against say ye di obi ba wakosi emranim say yesusu say aben sike di akodi ni nche wo kwan bone so dey me ni problem ba ye ma asem di bia ni ndi asem ni wie say ko ba na say di asem ni wie na nipa ne di fo a na wo be boy amane asi a endi anka me ni beji ba se sie ya kan bebrebe we nyina no de bia me ka say Fourth Republic ye nyina na ya tenem ye nyina na ya tena Fourth Republic yi Akuffo be ba no si corruption power Akuffo Bryan abem de e bi si da bi si da e na Akuffo ba ye Akuffo be ko no atamo say Akuffo abem de proye ni kankan de number 1 me boa atamo so na mama de be ko no na ye omukura de hu de si obi ade ana me boa Akuffo ado de so abetwem ye si enu so bon kankan but if you say ye can this Fourth Republic now you can say a number of corruption cases are you can say allegedly anything na you dey campaign ato oba no be sound say nipa hin na akodem nipa hin na yetumi a convict omo akodem if you look at the litany of cases
Auditor General report to crowd hosike die bebrebe almost 3 billion
nipa hin ene yetumi a convict omo akodem and then the man nipa nji corruption fight ni no because who ba beka we ye kronfo we ya say na e to me ama so and who ba oni krofo no bedi who ba beka na be mu 8 years who be kono na e dia nipa mienu miensa bi e na e de o makoye den akotum uyi free mu a uni obi abium the candidate for president Musaba say Abuga Pele and now beka say high profile corruption case and Mills and Mahama one ebia that me a convince any national communication authority William Tavia any the national security advisor and his deputy ni Bafo Bonnie and 4 people about NCA cases.
Yeah.
Those are the only cases of high profile corruption case there. A man for Akoda jail. Uyi enu free one. How nipa in Akoda jail biom. But who cast what you the number of improfua yedi oma 2 million mu say omu ye kronfo omu dia ban sika omu wi Ghana sika omu nyina ya ntumi afo bi ankoje ente ya na atoni de press na me hwe bebe ye frie ne bebre ye ba ya na me ka say me de ene u be ka bibi ya nya de ame me so so de ame pesa me tene say asem na court ama court ayeden e di asem ne we say we e di nkuguo mu fa no nkotom me en na pesa me te. Okay.
But even the point you raised initially now about say In 2014, the same national service crown, there were scandals and for these cargo's names are Acheampong. That even give Attorney General where the moral rights say, okay, so when to me and prosecute you, now they no be there, they will prosecute.
And I made this our case no up to an obi an bisa say na ekosi sen ye wie ni sen. Ye wie ni. Everything e Ghana ska. Africa no so e Ghana ska. So many other cases I accuse a man for somebody Ghana ska. Yen to me en chi o mu ntuma na en to me ko jiska. Africa ni nyina so ye Ghana fuska. Enti me hwese nia ya approach prosecutions in terms of high profile corruption cases bedu na. Said the American just said court started making pronouncements say we are guilty and America says Attorney General we need to man as many better but see idea I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt. But the problem with him is instead of going to court and getting the court to do their job, now court need to be proclaiming say obi a guilty and obi guilty no. And no more I said me who a lot of effort at that level. There are no effort ni say ya investigation. You won't say nipa way you say. You won't say nipa way you say. And one na yet. But me,
do you think that it's more of propaganda? Say, and not diversionary tactics. What is his motivation? Age, you know, because why would he do that?
Me to me because some American say or you guided by past precedent. No one who say yeah accusation share nipa bebre, but former ages bebre and to me I'm convicting nipa bebre. So you're guided by that, anka dia press conferences, you anka on your cry.
Okay.
Because the potential is say uye nema we nyina na ekodu baabi na amafo ehun say dia oka ni nyina no ase asem no ye hu ni ti na ye hu ni na ye hu conclusion bia it will lead to a massive deficit for the Mahama government. Say wo be kan bebrebe we aka wan e beto aba no ye hu hwe ene no kra wo no say ekodu 2028 na o statistics amanfo gidigidi ana court statistics amanfo a o ni ba ko je kwa Ghana for be catch say the election tin na wo ye wo me ka say na what na 3 years want me angele nipa na edu election period here afa na o see ye jele nipa e ba no say no create problem for the judiciary because na ma for be catch say the government na control judiciary say election by to move amanfo too and they believe that we shall say ntembom na e be about 2026 ending na ye hu judgments back first quarter of 2017, na judgment bad. A month for Becca said, why you mapa? But the obey press conference the brebe way. Now you can 2028. Now also election, but after now, judges jail a month for left and right. And now no cry will be a catcher or say, some of they don't deserve to go to jail. And he should be minded, say, was setting a very dangerous precedent as Attorney General. I'll buy cases are by that down. I will try and no. Why be terminate
exactly.
It's one who say they want to be on complete cases way. Na ko ba no say Ghana for koto aba. Na bia ni your way ti Ghana for buefu say. Who can say man for corrupt when to me anya hwenti ye tu a. Baba who from no ba no so be discontinue cases na Ghana for cash.
Exactly.
That is the one who man who try fire anu to one anko. Aba who for the be ba so be dey. E ba be fa so. And then I'm the president now was setting into. So I'm minded by that. Press conference and any priority. The priority will be say, the person we call court in 10 now. A bedu 2026 and the maybe first quarter in 2017. Now they secure a certain number of convictions. Now they are backing me say myself say I am even right to terminate those cases because cases are media back on my to me approve. Or more than no man to me approve and I'm better and I discuss by me then me approve. Say compare say for 2028. Now still you have not been able to achieve any significant convictions sir. And I'm not for back say they wona obeja o nyina kra no. Wonim say won to me ndi nkunim ti na woja o. Ebe hama ban seriously. Nti di omo ye no ene de omo feel say omo kan na party for born say mo ama omo. Dabi. Echo right 2028 now unya enough convictions sir. It will become a major issue against the Mahama government.
Okay.
And then the President Mahama now no appointed Attorney General. On one case, I Mr. Attorney General, the master press conference away and them say, go to the court and focus. Because when I appointed you know, and whatever happens, Obi and the other Dominic Ayenis administration, or Mahama administration too, On the cast of month day. A better man from what Attorney General and Mahama ni legacy and a man for the camp massive. And the Majority President Mama and Kasano learning from the first term and now learning from what has happened under the Akuffo government. No, Master Ambano. And so to me for Attorney General and said, Master, why a press conference now? Who the court no air convict here. Who be press conference 1 month after the conviction? No one church has 7 more in this crowd. Oh dear, yes, I'm not conviction about that. But for now, dear, it's too early for you to be always out there doing press conferences.
Okay.
And I say one thing, and on here, also, or the can send here A+. The can say, oh no, Attorney General corrupt. Up to now, it means you A+ about the clearing. Oba out won't be catch the Ghana for say a brand be your friend Mr. Sledge and now on a man is the campaign. Now sa brand A+ are down for it A+ casa. A+ Basa and Mr. Sledge wants some no okay. Mikaito Kaipa.
Yeah.
How many will say the same a brand no and the OSP are watching say or the onusu me for a business beer. And one by someone, yeah, there are some coach a branch here. No, and it's a Siano, who now prosecutor amount for Nippon also mouse to come out the campaign. On so they are watching us on so no, and find this almost to say, a branch to be a codino. Say, Kobani say, a branch here way, I'm not saying so you're guilty.
Yeah, they don't get a Bryan, can he prosecute?
Exactly. And now, in the question, I say, Sikano, a beer, me cano, me casa or but yeah, assume say investigation na kochire say sa brand and Sikana say bia afa ne same from meet no e bi no other sponsor who age no campaign na obenden.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
That press conference or he's opening doors or exposing who to things one can hear that you know e be hurting in a way he will never forget.
Okay.
If you have a press conference and for back branch here we eating na A+ and the car be the way cry. Now a chair branch you do a branch we na age say or man is carrying a campus. They say yes also or some our bank account. No because and okay the Koban said that na a Koban say akwan ko ka say ana investigation chile say. That Sikana e be a investigate no say state need to prove case na against him one. Na a Koban say investigation as part of South Sikana state to prove against him. Then
he will be forced to resign.
Good, I said, you know, press conference with no or no more a month will come at him and issues will come up and will affect his reputation. Okay. Or the press conference can say or no other drop cases no or consult to and perform as a prosecutor or lawyers. Hey, now who obi anya case I say one is ordinary court. Now, so person drop case. I also work for consulting a lawyer. Open the lawyer can't just man drop case now nowadays.
Well, ABC no plead deal. There's allowed.
They just plead deal. Oh, see, no man consult you. And to not drop cases no. Hey, Sagleme plead deal be na bow. He didn't talk about any.
Some of the people decided say when I obey your back.
And I make that was a Sagleme one it just can be home. But say I drop case no. And the press conference
you not prosecute.
And I make the press conference in some of them in some now Kano. Also, it's affecting his reputation. On your eye in any position. Or I buy him party hawks no the pressure bet to say for we do. But also say reputational damage by no piano song they will not have been affected. Or in a Ghana for whom on level officers age. Nti me dem feel say tanka minya kwa beto president amafo a aka on frɛ ayɛ ni ka kyerɛ sɛ why bi wa kika nsɛm bebree akyerɛ amanfo they say Ghana for person mo say wa convict amanfo nti wo de ja press conference na yɛ focus on the court and by 2016 ending or first quarter of 2017 no, let the court make pronouncement whether somebody is guilty or not. Then we can know whether we are making headway or not. But
people are also saying, so it's not just about prosecuting the people, it's also about name and shame. I think somebody sent a message like that. Say, the entire press conference here necessary say, was that age is so name me and shame?
Okay, name and shame. But if you go to court, you are not be able to prove it, you know. then what's the essence of the name and shame? Name and shame if the person is found guilty. But yet the no court has made any pronouncement. That's what I'm saying is that if the court has convicted the person, now by the country, that is the proper name and shame. But you don't do name and shame before prosecution. Because if prosecution goes and the person wins the case, how do you then retract the name and shame? And the name and shame should be when people are convicted. You understand it? And I say very careful. I'm not against name and shame. But nipa no can say them. One person who say, "Oh no, na ye the accusation attorney too." Ne ye name and shame. Now you say we court. No, we call him. How will he feel as a person? And you know, we all must treat us. It can be me, it can be you, can be anybody. And ask yourself that if it had happened to you, will you say name and shame is okay? For me, name and shame is not enough. We are talking about public money. If the person took public money wrongly, let the law say so. And let the law say refund. Let the law say go to jail. I agree. But when you want to name and shame, when the court are not made pronouncement, that one I have problem with it.
Okay. Well, meeting now but first and foremost, no. Only Tony Edu interview. Not Tony Edu say Canada, Japan, or Dintino, and Kebeya or on drop it. Did he say that?
I'm sorry, radio code no interview story from.
Okay.
Or no, or say Obia to meet an admin. And the Omobisana about performance contest on NPP. Now or not or making the point say or share Canada Japan was studying for a while. And not only certain attributes there, or no Phyllis will be person or mampenia. Now, oh yes, I know no Phyllis and if I say man of comedy or mampenia. O Casafa Ken, send a can Casound. Or Casafa send a Ken, Eddie attempt. Or no Najimono, also Ken. In some of the Okan, Nucrebi and Tron or Trago amount for so. And the only thing here may be about Ken. Ne soon ni buy or no than do Phyllis. And I'm just saying, no what observe about Ken's attitude, character, and behavior. No, or no Phyllis will be also do Mampeni, the high office of president there. Unjin this say, Obi a wire Sanya mano, and say to me man a chance. Nobody or Mampeni, no Phyllis Ken on deserve say man that chance. And the AI been chere, me did say no Obisa Ken say, what are his observations about Tony Edward? On the after Tony Edward. They are supposed to say, and yet like scientific say they be no be acquired. And yet Tony Edward as a person, as a politician, as a statesman, and they be about the opinion about one of which not NPP tickets and not making those comments about Ken.
Of course, so when this is normal, say you don't expect him to say anything that's palatable to the opponent.
Exactly. Okay. And so for me, I think some of these things we Obia the way are own in Yama. Obia say, Obia was saying the own in Yama.
But you President Akuffo there no. Our friend aspirant in here. What do you think that be been a trigger President Akuffo? For instance, Monday near can about say Omoto job border Bawumia Dr. Gideon Bwakoso was forced to respond to Bryan Acheampong because I think not Bryan Acheampong job no. I think twice. Last week no was third time. Also, Ajistiano, or the fire Bawumia. Because he spoke about Eastern region, the answer one Faka Pramba. Then there was another one that he said, oh no more Muluzu, he is the biggest financier. And then later we no still a day by. So do we been a trigger and another no from a meeting, Anna, and then would the meeting work?
Well, as a former president there, he has a duty to do what he has done. Because party Emana Quenya Manibedi or Mampeni for 8 good years. Or a very big person in the party. So you see NPP near with the president and the fourth Republican or the president Akuffo Nanya sa Quenya. And he has a big stake in the NPP. And he said about what the course internal election now candidates or sooner or kasa and Yamana ase a man for any juna kasa de moi. Oh, duties of a from my catcher say, Mina made the idea for 8 years and a yako opposition. I said, Yeri organizing Nambra back to power. Muna mo say, mo pese mo di party name. Se mo pese mo di party name dia. Ni Phyllis mo campaign no. Se mo ye ni say, mo ye ni say, and never boa Mwankasa ena muwie primaries no so a ebeboa party no. Ekwan bi wo ho a mo de fa so a obetumi abewi ni primaries no. But ukọ general election enam kwan a mo fa so in the primaries one hwe na akọ affect mu in the
exactly
general election. It's any duty because I said Akuffo is the second person in NPP to be president. Forever he will be part of the history of NPP. And on now who says a baby call so now Philisa and Kuya. Now I can't want some idea. He's not even trying to protect on one legacy.
Legacy, yeah.
Of a soldier or party. No. Assume who's national and to question Sana, party not with the CP deserves to be winning election. How will you feel? Okay. That's the right thing to do. It's all to me intervening. No, Munkasa. No, Momu say after primaries, there's a tomorrow. And the bigger fight is the national election. They immediately say, and I wish to say before 2028, maybe every year and every 6 months, or that kind of interaction. Even beyond the candidate. Akuffo should also be able to now begin to call all those who contested. In fact, Ebimukra or one contested, but baby, I know what to say. I say, Akasaka Sadi wo party no mwano. Akuffo duty and responsibility say or ben making sure say any effort to bet me making and bringing the party together for it to win an election again, or a big responsibility to do that. And I think say even when they elect national executives and all that, he has to continue with interaction with all organs of the party to make sure say the experience I gather in political life and so be president, and as president experience I gather baby officially say nyama koye baby nyama koye. In fact, now that we are former president, I feel no benya koye say hey I no ma say nyama koye. Sa prosecution and allegations say Katia na ebi wo this will be the first time OTA because not feeling that we are quite trusted people and they were doing the right thing.
Exactly.
Informations are coming out. So for now, on your president, he will get a lot of information. And as a former president, several people will be giving him all kinds of information about the party. And he will be in a better position to be able to lead such advocacy within the party.
But anyways, because I'm saying two exam candidates in Bawumia, Kennedy Japan, Bryan Acheampong, Dr. Duchum, Kwabne Japan. But do you think they will listen to this advice? Did it look like they were listening? Because the bit is a Bryan Acheampong, no, but look at how a jab after jab after jab after jab. Where was this coming from?
They have a Obi Opeso subsidy in politics in Ghana, not only in NPP. So unya akwenya so unya Akuffo kasa. Ese Obi wa sumpa na otie ni because the Akuffo FM and so nobody president. And so nobody president
Yep.
There is no experienced politician in Ghana than Akuffo. The president, that's somebody the most experienced person. I don't agree. The most experienced politician in Ghana today, who be Akuffo. Because we hear from the advocacy in opposition for over 3 decades, and he has always been at the forefront, has been in the 4th Republican Parliament, has been a minister in the 4th Republic, has been opposition leader, has lost 2 elections and won only on the 3rd time, was able to retain a seat, completed his term by his party has gone to opposition. So I see Obi Paye, experienced politician in Ghana, Akuffo is one of those people. And therefore, say, Omudi president, if they have the true ambition, say, the best person they should be listening to is Akuffo. And aside these public meetings, Obi is smart to move pan. Obefra Akuffo regularly on the side for advice.
Okay. But what about this position? Say President Akuffo supported by me. You say 2024 because no one running mate, the vice president, supporting. But then the information I'm getting is was switch camp cover in the Acheampong because of Eastern region, in the free Eastern region. Say, do you think about President Akuffo even with all his experience? Because me start to make I say there's no political mafia than Akuffo now. Okay, on what game I say, so he can play the game of chess for you or against you. How do you accept that information? They say, or switch camps. Maybe because no person about to say Bawumia establishment candidate, Mami family should be no Bianca tell me supported Bawumia.
Yes, you see, in internal politics, we bet in some debris. In some debris, I'm not better. We support we are no, we are experienced politicians now. We bet you now. We do we never to form. And a while ago say Akuffo do cross support Bryan Acheampong. It's not a big deal. Media, a photo of me and your friend home and a woman me share the paper or day or no support. Now, mommy photo and I said the all kind happen and quack way. So catch them smoke or doing what you say. You all catch them in me, yeah, the Bawumia. So to myself. And the over Bryan Acheampong side, me friend and I mean seeking advisor. Why you know almost too soft? They are not helping you. Because as I said, no, Akuffo men anything can say about the presidency because we not the president here. So they are here. But so be saying, hey, Nana, what's now position like over 30 years and so nobody on Mampenny. Now, time I will start with politics I say, to so be on Mampenny, lessons bend. Lessons bend, I'll bet me I share with me.
Exactly.
I bet me Akuffo will tell you everything.
Okay.
He's telling you about his life once he was trying to get there. And
then even the experience I went out after free power, no, the lessons now so better.
And the mistake say, Mati say, or Bryan Acheampong, one can't Akuffo to catch say, on best support too. Oh, catch and say, also person who do baby on way drew. Now, when we say, we know what now position for over 30 years and at the forefront of activism and Ghanaian politics for over 30 years before he became president. And the who person sign him the end of experience, who person will tap into some of them. You have conversations, or maybe you pick one or two things from there. You are not calling him say what he said or Bryan Acheampong is own number which and anything our old friend. But you are calling him to find out. We are contesting a lot of primaries within the NPP, right? We are contesting primaries within the NPP. We lose baby. Anameboa. Say Oluzu to Akuffo in 96 Anameboa.
Yeah.
And
I think even 1992 he was interested, but I'm from my farmer. Yeah.
And who is the way now Akuffo be the president for 8 years a year. No, I found into internal elections within the party. There's a lot that the man can tell you. There's a lot of advice he can tell you. There's a lot of things he can share with you. Say, Utie na supreme. Now say, Akuffo do offer. And son obedi idea. Some person me the idea, and then I have a lot of work to do.
Okay.
Ubisano, Nana, if your profana or campaign team advises, a quite person now fire now selective woman. How did you mobilize the people that back you for you to become that strong within the party? What strategy did you use? How did you Nana? How a quite person to build the constituencies?
They should get his playbook. No use.
Exactly. And one person was succeeding. You have a lot to learn from Akuffo. But Akuffo is there. Go and learn something from him. And the old person will just say, and I will support where you lose out because experience now here and they are strategizing. So you don't have that much experience. So if you want to succeed, you need to talk to people who have been through that process. Come on, go to advice. And that's how we call it on the back you. But who be here? A fire on to me fast. Oh yeah, nobody idea no. Who person and the be free to one church now. Don't go there with the mindset that who convincing to support too.
Okay. By everything, the Enfa candidates who I ban one. The Enfa Kennedy Japan. Okay, Enfa Kennedy Japan. based on the last super delegates conference, they're showing that he did very well, being the second, even above Alan Chairman. What do you think they say so far the campaign are running on? Because he's trying so much to change the image, to say they're not on Edu can so Canada Japan. So if you look at the last 2 years, he's not been in that position anymore. Said so far after the campaign, does he have promise? Because some of the research say Olidi.
Me research once because some of this reason once idea. Nyama meka no be better say who running the work down into person meka those research once.
Okay.
But it's not out of place to know say Ken is the second in the last election and this one so no he's in the second a pole position the most competitive candidate against the Bawumia is Ken. It's like a Ken and a Bawumia race again. Okay. But you see those times Bawumia was a vice president. And Enyama Bebre and Uncle Suye were abayam na man for to use against you. And that party in abayam you. And Chechere be a bebano, a bia, a bema amount for a Wunyama differently. Ken is a strong candidate, and I've said it. Ken, Nyama was started here in the party to position himself as the person who really care about party people no start here yen waye djuma bebre wo de omu nyina bo mu a dia waye bibi na nkrofo na ehunu ama Ghana for so ati say waye we ama party Ken Bryan Acheampong say nye campaign we ya anka ne nyama na onu e kire say waye ama party na on ke bi da, and it is new information to a lot of party people. But Ken the Wayama parties for so many years, he regularly tells the party people, say, this is what I'm doing for the party. And the Ken the are sinking into people's mind so many years and Bryan started a candidate. And the Ken the they say, we're preparing him for this thing for a long time. And I'm not surprised by the fact that the strong showing. And when he entered the race, the catcher man for to baby T. Alan, how can Ken come and beat Alan Daddy? The constituencies Ken I build it within the NPP. Send a way in Niama, send a one marketing in home. Embrace that one young will be the president. A man advantage over anybody who wants to contest it. If you are not a sitting vice president. Okay. Like if you are sitting vice president, like Ken would have been like the one everybody want to catch up with.
So Bawumia any race ni man.
Oh, Bawumia any race I can't never lead. Because Bawumia is candidature as a running mate to Akuffo 2 times. And then he won election 2 times. Abema wanya a certain advantage.
Yeah.
As that advantage in M1. But if like somebody like Bawumia is not in the race, Ken would have been in a pole position. Because he is the one who was able to market himself as the party, the party's people.
Okay.
The people for the party.
Yeah.
He is the one who has shown concern about party people. All these people have not really done that by saying it for people to know. But marketing is not about only doing it. Once you open your idea, to my constituency. So one can Talented constituency no onim say why did this hour. All of them might have done things. But they can't be Nyama bebre wayama party ni no. He regularly trumpets it to the party people in the media and everywhere for them to know say he's doing a lot for the party. So that has endeared him to a lot of party people. The way it will be a party no e wona kumaso. Ultimately. And for me no people can say a whole lot of things. What is actually affecting his campaign? People see him as somebody, but people are now playing back a lot of things he has said, which are considered negative against the party and people in this country, and they are using those audios against him. Because since we counted the last primaries to now, some kind of vituperations were slowed down. Are slowed down, but People say, yeah, man, will slow down. Then Kata they are Canada and Kofama. And to hear the opponents of campaigner, they are bringing a whole lot of things he has said in the past to say, what can't wait that, what can't wait, and that's a moment chance. So that's here. And that is what I
do you
see
think that's how audios ni videos no use so against him no? Ebenya nana because and Monday ni me back no explain so it was about Safma for leaked tape be and ana oye NPP for no mu leaky and so the harsh language was for only those who leak the audio but omo they are frano e dey here to second dey Japan dey did attempt. Do you think about affecting Anna?
That time no one share that time and masanche chirimu ya okay. Out here. A time ye all kinds of no be ye no. One shedan kata oh say na me can no nti mamu mfa no ho sa. It is a na u be chire mu a obi be kata is an afterthought. That one problem no. That's what the opponent will use because the thing is working against it is trying to change his bow. But that time now okay na ebe ye ho e ma party for bebrebe food those time. Unyam emre spend hours in the media to explain say they make kai no. This is the main important now. Well, in the communication, you know, and I mean, say, I say, people are the opponents are really pushing against him. Say, Nipa we mamun too market because emrebi okanwe, because one who say after the last primaries to now, no, while really while managing the composure, while managing the utterances, so one who say, Akwana says, no. One kasa ne ntende ya kofa ni old audios ni nyama wake kan in the past no say okasa ti party peniwe okasa ti party for we no kind of attempt against party for and that is what they are using to me against him. And I should tell you say the candidature is strong because when the candidate is not that strong I don't need to go to the past and bring anything against but the fact that you have to be going to archives to go and look for things he has said 7 years ago 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and then I woke up and the I work here. It tells you say he is a really strong candidate.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, moving to Bawumia. Yeah, moving to Bawumia. Bawumia, so is he holding his own? They are no kutano. Is he bringing that to the table or Eswati? Because now everybody is going after Bawumia's votes.
Yeah, everybody is going after Bawumia. But I think in government, those strategies work. In opposition, those strategies don't really work because they are more opposition. And now, question is, Bawumia ngwa na ruli nipa wa aben mu. The only person one bibia about aban come na Acheampong. Because Honorable Acheampong himself was a board chairman of Ghana Gas. Dr. Addo, education minister. Bryan, first term national security, second term agric. And ufa candidate ni now say Mufa trouble ni na ma Bawumia. The question is who sector now who handle you know problems thereby and say family mu Bawumia na. Government is but this is how abemu there. It is easy to blame Bawumia. But now in opposition people begin to ask the question now who you wait to my year and agric and come out and complaining. Education no so am for complaints when you na war. And the yemfa koso ya Bawumia ne baba ku bu abai. And
Bawumia Dr. Addo response now the by he succeeded in education.
Can you say, is it your assessment of success varies, right? Of the education, now people didn't have complaints now. On in party for the do say school placement or chesino say school placement so there are every ministry out there handle piano. People have expectations, and you can't meet all the expectations of people. So obviously, always there will be issues people have against you. So to go and say, you cannot tell me that everybody accepts that you have performed very well there. You cannot say there are no party people who have serious issues with you. You were in charge of education. Education was responsible for scholarship secretariat. People who were looking for scholarship as party people. Now when you've been so minister and you know or show no way want to be a okay, the only issues.
Free SHS school fees into baby stranded. Okay.
Yeah, free SHS was a massive policy, but free SHS also has its own issues. People were talking about the quality of food. There were issues that send Yankolano, Omuko school 2 weeks, no maba, na people were complaining about all these things. And you know, don't sit back and say, ni Miami Juma you. And so officers say, Juma na ubo waba so sana Ghana for do one so sana party for no so ehunana. And that kind of comment, you know, in opposition, you know, don't do that. Me, Dr. Addo. See, they don't make a man as a politician. Your success depends on the people around you, your advisors, your strategies. One person, you may even be a very bad candidate. But if you have good strategies, good communicators, people who make sure that your campaign message, they are the one who determine. Your outing, they determine. They are the one who are putting spin on your messages. They are the one who are strategizing and crafting you as that person. The people who are projecting you as that person. If you don't have those people, you struggle. So Dr. Addo, he's talking a lot, but I don't really see the effectiveness of his campaign team. Because I don't really see how they are projecting him as the candidate that should be. And you see, we have a situation in that people think when they go and plant stories in the media, they are having front pages here, left and right. The people are shouting already means that they are being projected. That is not strategic communication. That thing you put in the media, it should give you a certain leverage to a certain point. But Dr. Addo, as we speak, if you ask me, I don't really see the stagecraft of strategy that is propelling him to be like
Bryan Acheampong campaign. You cry, yeah, they change Dr. Addo campaign. No,
you can't see how Bryan Acheampong campaign is going. Even he himself, Bryan could have done better, but I think that he also has issues of strategy and campaign messaging. Because sometimes some of the things he says, you know, I don't even see how those things are feasible. Something must here. And they have a one that catch us a same way. Bryan is missing the point by trying to prove that it's political. If he had smart people, in my opinion, the smartest brand should have had is for him to be branded and projected as a business leader.
Now, they say they are naming him as Elon Musk.
But the question is based on what? What are the narratives? Okay, it's about narratives. What narratives are you making the people believe? Politics, they say, is make believe. Let people believe that this person, this is who he is. Bryan, to me, if he had had a strong team who really have the kind of strategy, I am of the view that the branding they are branding him, making him to look like a firepower politician, I think is the wrong way. Ken is the firepower politician, brand him that way. But I think Bryan should be branded as a business mogul who has done A, B, C, D, who, when is given the opportunity, will use that acumen to make sure that Ghana thrives economically. And I think that he has done a lot for himself.
Yeah, it looks like that conversation. Kennedy has been consistent about me creative jobs. Me buy my water, me you have me coastal, but that should have been or no Bryan Acheampong messaging as a businessman.
Exactly.
Kennedy position as a fire brand. Somebody me buy me grassroots for.
Exactly. So Ken should be the fire brand. That is his strength. But I see Bryan's strength as the one who should be branded as a business mogul, a young man of this age. At this age, he started this business. At this age, he had been able to build this. At this age, he has been able to build this. And by now, Bryan has this total number of employees he pays. They work here, they work here, they work here. Bryan owns this hotel chain, one of the biggest in Africa. This is a young man. Bryan is the one who wants to transform the entire Peru into a tourism enclave. Bryan wants to build an airport. Sit down and do a branding that will project the guy as the man with the big brain to transform business in Ghana. And that if you give him the chance to become president, things he has done in his own businesses that has made his business to be doing well, he would transport that same strategy to make sure that private business grows. So Bryan, for instance, should be surrounded by a lot of successful private business people.
Because I'm even picking information, say team funny be crazy like Carlos money and the Oma sign one because I know so because of Eastern region, all the Eastern regional MPs, the Kuya Munina won the camp, all of them are supporting Carlos
The Eastern regional MPs, almost 70 said they are supporting Bawumia. They had a press conference. So for now, Bryan has only about 5. If you take the numbers.
That is Eastern region, but yes, other people, former MPs, he said Carlos Ahenkwa, son of Eastern region of Yesium, but not a MP. He is with him.
But then, if what you are saying is a photo on father, there's a problem. Because as I said, who candidate you can never brand yourself. You can never make it as the candidate. The people around, if you put the best strategies around, everything you go and say is because that's what you are told to say.
Okay.
So if Bryan had maybe 20, 50 business moguls, successful business people in Ghana, okay, around his campaign, and it's not political. The political people are down there doing the strategy and the rest. And the Bryan appears in this campaign, and this business mogul that everybody knows is on the stage of campaign here. He goes to meet this delegate, this business mogul is with him. And some of these business moguls will be making statements that, oh, they believe in Bryan's vision, they believe that Bryan and business will thrive. These people are so influential because they are successful people in this country, own their own businesses. So I was thinking that if Bryan really was to be marketed and branded to be that candidate, I was thinking that the strategy would have been different. What he's doing now should be what Ken Acheampong should be, because that is Ken's advantage. And you cannot compete with Ken on that level. You understand it? So I think that I tell people that in any serious country, when people even have the dream of going to public office, the first person they hire is a publicist.
They have a crisis. High publicist, yeah.
Appointment number power crown, power crown. Yaman appointment for only publicist. If you so one of the story, my journalists will go and put publish in the media for me. And no,
okay.
Politics and politician. A politician is a whole brand. Okay, the way big companies will actually employ experts in branding, in communication to project their institution's image. A politician is a product that needs several experts to brand and project him. But that is what our politicians
do. Okay, President Akuffo, I think in 2008, even when the campaign was tough for Akuffo, 2008, they brought Obikra from Abroach. Okay. In 2008, they brought somebody. Yeah.
This is how I see brand. And actually, our politicians don't see themselves as products. And that they need specialists around them to brand and project that product for people to accept the product. So they think that it is their speeches by their own, by themselves, that will make people believe them. For people to trust and believe you, first of all, it's how you are projected. How you are branded and projected is number one.
All these people, but Yanka Kwabne Japan. So far, I think that one of the very experienced people, but I hear say finance no sikana kodi some place until omuntu to be financiers onyankro form be pushing the campaign, said they wasn't pushing the campaign.
Exactly. Kobra Japan's problem all along has been that he's not getting the financiers to back him. He's not getting financiers to back him. Politics is about money. Politics is about money. So if you are a good candidate, you have all the attributes, you can become a good president, but you lack the financial backers. It becomes very difficult. Because as I said, if you want to buy the expertise of branding experts, communication strategies, political strategies, business strategies. You want to buy all this expertise around you to be able to build and project you. It costs a lot of money to do these things. And so you are unable to get the right expertise around you. Most of that they look at, meaning your campaign, your chinsa, we obey to me a jumano. Look, those people are supposed to be doing a certain level of work. But the people who will sit back and be drafting strategy, idea, policy, and everything, they are the people who make you who you are. But most of them
financiers and sign declare ambition is Obeko.
Yeah, because he had had this ambition, he contested some time ago. So he had an ambition for a while. So for me, the best thing you would have done should have been that for the past 4 years, he should have been looking for strategic investors and backers. Okay, so by the time that it is 2-3 years into Akufo-Addo's regime, he would have had a lot of financiers backing him.
Now, Elvis, when you say Akufo-Addo answer na sabotage Kwabena Japan, because even in his second term, I understand say all that Kwabena Japan no pennies and Komunya the chairman Ghana Gas who said then, you know, I said this whole Afoko ni Kwabena Japan, yeah, Aluta, Omufi party headquarters, and then Omufi bastardized them and made them look like evil people. A bad then Obi was Sikakra, their sponsor Kwabena Japan, their Baba sponsor, because the way they removed them from office. Now it's me any pabonia, moyo mo ye. Inti enye Akufo-Addo na stage this whole branding struggles for Kwabena Japan, as they say, or he's more qualified than Nipa Akonyina. Is one of the most experienced people among them. But attracted the kind of Sikane be pushing the campaign. No one aye. President Akufo-Addo in particular, on ka.
You see, politics, politics is a self-interest game. A self-interest game. And the one who obi a specific interest or and you must protect your interest. And people who think that they want the interest you want will do everything to sabotage you. Our politics, and see, the experienced politician, and so you should always be looking at what can affect you and what cannot affect you. So it is true. If you ask me, the way they were treated, they were unfairly treated. But you know what have been done to them? If they had had a good strategy and leverage on it, they would have used it to attract sympathy. To rather become a real threat to those who did that to them.
Okay.
But I believe that they were so embittered that they didn't look at it as in the middle of all this pain, any what advantage when a woman met me a picky?
Sir.
Who was strategy, sir? We besi. Bet na say a junior be catch us say adi in the money how onim. And then it sounds bad, but you better acquire A, B, C, D, so I'll leverage on it, man, have advantage.
Yeah, MP sympathy votes for that. MP sympathy supporters. Yeah.
And for me, I felt say they were unfairly treated, and they felt so embittered, and as a result of the bitterness, they didn't look at the spot that they can look at and take advantage of the situation to their own benefit. And for me, I want to feel say they missed it, because in a party, there are so many aggrieved people in a party. Obi o yaman appointment, appointment man on penti o aggrieved onimu do o wa be. And it's if you focus on those kind of things, now you are able to project yourself as obi aya victimized you unfairly, and therefore who feel say those who did that except party party from victimizing more. You'll be surprised that if you leverage that very well, that and you can never financiers subscribe about side. Because there are so many financiers or my financing party man about power or business because expectations say be from Abemo in terms of contract in Yama and the acti or Muhokano. Abema capture all the opportunities. But still, or 1 or 2 business do or what? Sikaka free mwaba. So what they say, also your treaty will say, and as I say, I know person take advantage of that opportunity. Namumumbe leaders are. Sani panel will be sympathetic towards you, or better finance you.
Okay.
So in all things, say experts who are looking at this is a negative thing, but there could be a small positive somewhere. How do we leverage on that? Anything I make us say, if you hire the right people around you,
the politicians they almost to delegates instead of helping the right people, employing the right people. Yeah, that's what they do. Elvis, just say among all, who is likely to win?
Well, looking at the NPP after Addo era, I think that when they have a flag bearer, they've tried to keep the flag bearer. Secondly, Dr. Bawumia as a person has a certain advantage of likability by people. Dr. Bawumia naturally, among four penasem, Adentia, Ghana for was some GDB say, Ahumbrasie a very important attribute of a person. Debian Nikata President Mus crafted him as the Bio Ahumbrasie and Kabia want to be Akuffo in an election. But me did that attribute of President Mus or Wabotre, President Mus or Ahumbrasie played to his advantage against President Akuffo, the candidate at the time. And I believe that Ushe candidate anymore. Bawumia we device they are not still some attribute of say or a humble no. I have always said this that attribute of humbleness no has played a lot of roles in our politics. It is to be what that characteristics not contesting an election except usro sanipano. And I think say largely the party people will go in for Bawumia. Ken is the biggest threat. But see, Ken in that firepower mode, no so. And Akuffo be brave. I better about Phyllis Ken atia or munaiso one way or the other, either through the pronouncement or some action somewhere. And you know, for some of those people, they may not want to vote for Ken, not because they don't think that he cannot become a good president, but because of personal scores on other issues. And you know, I think that Bawumia being on the ticket for 4 times, twice as opposition, twice as vice president, his network as a vice president has also affected a lot of people within the party. That in his role as vice president, probably he's been able to help many people in several ways.
Okay.
And that attribute say, or a humble Bawumia de Ojo, Bawumia Ojo no. I think it has an advantage for him.
Okay.
Bawumia is not seen as Obia or arrogant. So Ghana say Ghana for say we are arrogant, our problem. Whether it is true or not.
He had to struggle to check that image. He still is struggling with that.
Why that should share and not share African way. But before that time, you know, Akuffo now was suit. But when they wanted to brand him for Ghanaians to see, say, Papa we only arrogant, no, they have to do certain things. And if you look at Ghana for no, that perception say sometimes, as I say, sometimes they are completely wrong. Sometimes you are only assertive. Sometimes you are only assertive, but they see it as arrogant. And then if you look at all these characteristics, no, it will give Bawumia an edge over the rest of the candidates. I said the race is a Ken Bawumia race.
Okay.
It will give.
If Bawumia gets it, 2028, Yabeko NDC there. Does he have a chance, especially this issue of okay, say about 2024? There was this issue of religion. Say Ghana no, largely in Christopher, no man pay cremo for. Other people have used it against Bawumia. If you must say no for votes in Bawumia to me and Famba, and that is what causes even greater Accra capitals, Kumasi Ade. People are saying that the candidate Bawumia could not bring the Zongo votes. Something, if you look at the statistics, it's not entirely the case there, because there were some Zongo votes that Bawumia was able to bring. But people have said all that. Bawumia, can he get anything for NPP? So, we need prime minister, 2028, can he win?
Obisania, there's nothing called religious vote. Okay.
Okay.
You will go to a pure Christian constituency, and the candidate is a Muslim. The MP is a Muslim. How did that MP win? The religion is the cause.
Okay.
How are Muslims winning seats in predominantly Christian communities? And if it will be a Muslim, know what me winning areas like Christopher does one. How then do you want me to believe the religion play? And then the religion saying I can no Muslims should have won in anywhere where they are Christians. Something must say. And sometimes, you know, I am my now no material me name say and credit. And obi ka say honorable Kennedy Acheampong constituency no OGM no. And this your first say no. MP no a Muslim.
Yes.
So
NPP Muslim. I seen Central.
Yes. Any person of constituency say NPP Muslim. So here. And the fixation on religion. You will see a time. They didn't catch us. Ghana, how elections are decided by the performance of government of the day. Ghana follow in fact what is happening to an opposition.
Okay.
The Ghana are dissatisfied with the government. They will vote you out. Because they will be at as I say, Ghana is kind of crowd. It is any point now. Any opposition about the yaman, I buy the soil. So pension, any opposition say I buy the soil. Every problem in Ghana is solved by government of the day. And the people will vote against you. They say, now me to Abama buying with some solve problems A, B, C, D. 4 years and not 8 years later, no. Don't want to me and say me too. And the opposition party can be in disarray and will come to power simply because the Ghanaians are not voting based on the performance or the state of opposition party.
Okay.
As a verdict on the government of the day, whether they believe that Gabon or the Hawaiian and
okay.
The Nana say, and this is me one of the biggest threats. I mean, who said, ever face you this promise of 1 job 3 employees. 1 job 3 employees is one of the biggest threats to them in 2028. Because they see they are lamenting. Now no akando say for your calculation now. They see there are 74,000 health workers are. Yenya mfa omu yo one omu say yenti omu ko mu nka ho de yenya mfa omu ye kra no into ono ye calculation no eberu 2028 no Saban to me anya some big money and employ heavily eberu start time no na adwene ne say health workers in Kwada will be unemployed will be about 180,000.
Export the health workers and one say you negotiate with other countries and export them
but they have not been able to do that effectively yet.
No, lazy Ejuma because I'm buying beer UK for health workers. Other countries, Australia per health workers. I'm confirm for Philippines, near other places, Indonesia.
Grenada for Prime Minister by President Mama in the agreement, some of the next is for the call. If they are able to do more of that there, but then I can't. Say the Ghana payroll and the Ejuma say be employ more Ghana there. Say Abaya Nyasika Kesie Bia, about 2028. Maybe health workers in Kwan that may be unemployed by 2028 will be over 180,000. Help no education mile, pharmacist mile, so many others a mile. And that promise say 1 job 3 people. And a lot of unemployed people feel say something significant is going to happen. Something significant behind to me see or employment in Ghana. Okay. And because I to me that kind of money to recruit such high level of people. Because a nipa free school actually be an Addo.
That brings me to Mr. Addo. That brings me to NDC. You know, say I can Bawumia. They say he's likely to win. Ken is the biggest threat to Bawumia because on what time to pay. One shall obey defense against Bawumia. But I share this issue of whoever comes out of NPP, the Baby facing NDC. Say NDC ni him say, okay, either Haruna Idrisu or Julius Debra or Yenyam says, "Say don't get us off at the end of World Cup." He's really in a subtle way campaigning. Say don't get ya. And sana Omabo Akuffo in Sweden. But surprisingly now, President Mama talk about Oba. I say he's fine, Professor Jenano Pokwadman. Do you see that whoever comes, so let me face it. But first and foremost, who is likely to emerge from NDC?
NDC race no, a bit tricky. So we catch our next one the Obem Imedia Obwa. Imagine no. The NDC son say, see, President Mama has only 4 years to rule. And by 2 years into the administration, one will be a person president to be able to unity openly. Sekobanisa now government get distracted. They may suffer seriously in 2028 because unemployment issue there until senior many will be our nurses, teachers, no. yetumi ay agreement we betumi a ship wo mo akwa abroad. But say Ghana payroll there, the betumi afa no entumi fa hibia. This entumi anya any thing from abroad amount more. Those who will be unemployed and will be saying, say, what that because we one job, 3 people, and we thought will be many. I know they say Ejitum.
Then there more pressure on the baba buying so.
More pressure baba buying so. And a lot of projects on Castle Bayano. Nukrani na mienimni a bad thing. Ghana sikasem jinabiano. So the catch say we are going to do so much massive projects. It's going to be difficult. A bad thing. They say I can say IMF. You be from May 2026. Na yetumi be public person no kakra. But public person no be no. It has consequences for the economy itself. And you know the best
there will be pressure on NDC.
There's going to be huge pressure on NDC. I see the only light NDC bet to media BB if they focus seriously on the prosecutions and want to me achieve some acceptable level of convictions. Now, man, for I say, Oman in Crano, one now, Omoyi Abayasikano, Omutimi the Bodona for 2 prison. Sekoban Sadia, that will be the lighting pointer on Betumi Jinasu at the head from campaign. But a lot of the things Ghanaians expected from NDC, the public person, revenue generating, and the Betumi Abano, and for the next 3 years now. And we can't do much in terms of projects. Roads,
even the gold board, Sika any other Sika, President Mama Mo Pushi, Wako Saudi Arabia, Omu negotiate Japan, Nina Bakra still.
Gold board. Oh, yeah, dear. But gold board now, can. We have to do the accounting well. Accounting is the way you say gold board $1 billion. And now, even for the $800 million, then they are got good. Now I got tongue, not on 900 million. Not just a profit now, but can say 100 million. And see how easy expenses in every man in Rebecca. No, I found the same money as I better good. No, I found the accord. And the 8 billion I say year so far. No. And the same money in the year recycle. The question is the profit margin you're saying.
Okay.
And the gold board now, you're coming in. And the same capital base and no more recycle.
Okay.
And when they are recycling the same capital base and no more autonomy the same scar and the acquire, we should be focused on the profit margin they are making.
Yeah, not just numbers now. Yeah, they to
not just the numbers. The numbers are the only reason it makes sense to say.
But let me push you on Professor Jenano Pokwadma. Do you think I'd likely say President Mama best swerve because people have said General Secretary Saudi Chairman, they BMT now president. People have even gone as far as to say that presidency the Tobo or the liar. Dule Munaye chairman, Council of State chairman, Cranway, presidency. Julius Zebra, people say he's good, but experience is shadow niho. Atto people say he's good. Experience niho. And a finance minister, Jumano, say one succeeded, there will be no justification to make him the candidate. So for how they do so, Namel's and comfort cannot and passing experience in the war. But not so comfortable because President Mama for northern sectority, the presidency cannot go back there.
It doesn't matter. See, some of the arguments amount for I mean, sometimes you have to be clear. President Mills offering for central region, and I'm a the vice president offering for central region.
Yeah.
Jenata of the central region. Later Accra, they've never gotten a vice president in an NDC or NPP. That. The NDC has been winning the election with that kind of formula. And this formula, can't formula, but let's look at the statistics. If those things matter, why will NDC present Professor Moss from central region and Mr. Atta was from central region?
Yeah.
Jinana is from central region. Does it mean that the other regions, and some of these dynamics, no, let's use the empirical evidence of amount, but Obia or such an argument. Look, I said, look at your own. It could be the biggest threat in the NDC campaign. The anti-America fan say, so I who say, obey anti-establishment candidates. Now, one man party what you see say, one no a client or person and this book money and fast sa. And to the two, Mama kwa yemfa omane man no bebu omane client party for pair. It can be the biggest threat to all the rest because the rest no more abemu. And it's a man ko here. Na ase dun kata na agin say obey use that against more abemu. Ebe ha mo papa. Because he ase dun kata is a strategist. Kese na repeat for swampofo. Just look at the campaign he did. When the so-called tape was set to be a leaked tape, the comment be almost one say a leaked tape. And you leaked tape, no one someone for say a leaked tape. As I'm not the ending na pepe sana omuti o tape sa next year.
Just say
so and then I said look at one director now. See, it's a grassroots person and or a political animal. It's the ultimate gauge the mood within the base. Ultimate gauge the mood within the base and right on the mood within the base.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't know whether he has financial backers. But if Aseduketia succeeds in getting sponsors, financial backers, he will be the one everybody will have to beat in the party. Because for him to be able to leverage on issues within the party and make it his campaign point, then you can't beat Aseduketia for that. And because he has been general secretary for all these years, only information they bring from the grassroots. A lot of people can easily send him text message. People can vent their anger to him all the time. And some of these
Onimobia weak point.
The network all across Ghana within the NDC. Money information. Meaning which of the candidates has that kind of network within the party base and grassroots. And the people should not underrate that. That's why I see. I see you can direct him if you know, say, we need financial backer. But say, we need secure phobia backing the candidature. Or no man for better chasing. Because onya sika can one, not the kind of strategy no one. A bad demand on person contest no. Meanwhile, no. The names are working. One boy what that there are.
Yeah, what that yeah. I was thinking, saying, Corona Capeja, Mama, bet you soon as never animate, no, this way.
There are so many names, even Alex Mode and co names are out there. So, because everybody says, Mama, everybody sees it as a level playing field.
Yes.
We can all go and play.
Yes.
It's the one showing here. 17 NPP aspirants, it may come to end this time round. One on person about the contest, no matter the doors. And Obia become of your money calculation, the entity of Philly say, on never to near Winyama party. And the end, you know, almost situation is more precarious than the NDC. And it's a statistics a bit affecting government's focus. Because a lot of the things will now be blame government for this, blame government for that. I told them to do this, they are not doing it. You understand? And then,
especially from 2027, Econo.
And 2026, and on Besha here, almost 2027 they do. On Besha say 2026. By the second, third quarter of 20, I'm not for you money plane. Because I can't present on my cat or move you. On my cat, Utama, so because it's here. This is a never running party. So to myself, I said, look at that, any pebble one is cat. How do I do so? Can I have good? Or no? With all my information, who got 5 regions of the north are a very strong candidate up there. And all he will need is to get a southern candidate who is also strong to back him.
Okay.
And they could be a threat to anybody. So people are saying that maybe I should get the advice and all kinds of things. So people are looking at who actually have some numbers and strategy that can move. In the NDC, I can tell you, say, anybody here win. You can't want them, because the NDC, a lot of things will happen now. One can government lose focus.
Yeah.
Because the things will decide that government Nakasano, Nipa Bebre, they will wish say they are on the opposite side because my man in the crop for yes, you take you over.
Yeah, but just a quick one on Alan, new party. would that also be a threat to NDC or NPP? Because they say, Alan, why are no full-blown political party?
Mema Canada, and America, Alan Wong, yet Roma, Alan has been a very powerful figure in the Fourth Republic in politics, especially in NPP politics and governance. Ama, on several occasions, ni supporters, Alan there, Emma Penasem, Ghana for Penasem, already numbers never break NPP. Yet, if they almost can never be break, Emma to say, oh, Alan there. Ono munya before what Penasem. And then we see Alan as that stalwart figure in the Fourth Republican politics. That is who he is. Unfortunately for him, with all this, Enyama for can find brand the Wayaman in England. He had two ballot papers and reflect it. Alan had 32,000 votes. 0.28%. On the ballot paper, so question is nipa na ye can say Ghana for do Penasem, one of munya before Penasem, even NDC for be to Abama no, Emma ebe to Abama no. Eba ne say na on the ballot paper no, the name was here to Abama no nya 32,000 votes. Fawe never tutu nana kwani bedi aku cheda ho. Fourth Republic yanti cheda nkase osi ope president or ope politics ana we yiwe. About to training and no oyi nenim. Na oyi nenim ko ye hu ni ntem oye billboard no the mass too so. And there's wine ye. Emre obeyi mass ni say on na ka be say 6 months na ye to aba. Thought mas here. Cheda kwa aba to mu a. Cheda na di third o. Cheda BT Alan. Cheda nya 88,000 plus votes. 0.76% votes. And he said Michelle Alana in the Fourth Republic. Yen nyina nim Alan uba Alan di Ghana baby obi ati Alan dinda.
Alan Cash.
Yen nyina or a stalwart in NPP or a stalwart in Ghana politics. But the data now ever out in 2024 elections which they say sa activity the man are reflected into votes.
Alan has lost it. Sana Oka.
And the Alan there, I say or fading out, or fading out. And this Alan Party, me makasa me engine this way mebuna. Now just our statistics we are. Ube why just ube kwa kwa because you hold Dr. Beda someone from party okruma amfa.
Nana go do the amfa.
Guzitano me kansa ebi ate when free NDC mu a ebi anka Mahama vice na kono edi man. Because it was so powerful and close to the top at that time. Akuffo money party amfa. Dr. Wekubo be fi NPP mu Akuffo money party amfa. E ho papa kwesi indum afọ me party amfa. And the smaller parties in Ghana clearly know the history needs to say smaller parties really or munya adie e Ghanaian elections. And the vote now Alan Enya in 2024 say he is just part and parcel of that smaller party. And maintain this day and age, obi person dey want to share such situation. And Amaka say if cheddar for the first time no one buy, no we be third o. ABT Alan I be the third. If there is a prospector, I see it more rather with cheddar and his agenda rather than Alan. The Alan na 5%, 10% in the last elections. And Amaka say why a political party there obenya more. Nana Addo Rawlings was the wife of former President Rawlings. Say you see Obi Nejuma Atachi and Mao Ghana ha Obi at me fan home to Nana Addo Rawlings. 31st December movement. Almost every corner in Ghana, why one project or the other under 31st December women's movement. And the new form of partner I say a man in our said money we or no Atachi your life. It's a better man and cobe a force. By a to abano. The party and possible idea. And one I mean, I say, for the few years ahead of us, party, a bed is said, third force be baby image. But then I mean, can't baby no. Assume each other for cafe shutter, mayor, tourism and creative administrator to become a now youth now. omu di wechi no omu beka me ho na ebia wasa find other young people bia omu wo numbers not omu ba they could become actually the third force because
Elvis, the same way I can say it again because it's not even to offer a first and shatter tourism. I think Oyana just said running mate. That can work.
Anybody
who is sensible enough to tap into that shatter, the loyal fan base, no, that person can cause serious havoc to NDC and NPP.
It's a serious issue.
And yes, sir, Shatta Nankasa himself, maybe he doesn't like politics. He can just turn himself into a movement and contest elections.
And can you imagine Shatta on the campaign trail? Nano rapaholic Kumasi Shatta do Kumasi fans only and the Saturday and you. What's your airport?
Oh yeah, sure.
What video no? What's your airport? Oh, car in the
airport in the mihu, yeah, airport in the mihu, yeah, airport in the mihu.
So the Gen Z is wrong. I say, our mindset is different from here. Yeah, my men only here. The same here. Junior, my betu bunu. Gen Z for our margin is different. I say, young ones now, just the NPP and this the omun too much. Me imagine omun got too much here, and they are almost getting to 100,000 in their numbers. It's almost 100,000. That's more than 2 or 3 constituencies in this country. So all the cheddar vote to share second. Once you have 20,000, 25,000, 30,000. And the share cheddar now person I said 3 constituencies be according to but constituency a youth, a Gen Z, younger generation. And it's all tapu into cheddar, not tapu into somebody else be now or munu youth no, and who almost say age wise no. I say omo ye age mate niama omo kan so no asa no na ye Gen Z fo no ye ne gi ho a there could be the possible third force in this country because the youth no omo do so papa and do na no I omo age say when this NPP president ye ntimi nji omo ndi because ye aspiration na ye want as young people now say almost to me fulfill it and if they find solace say obi say na bedi akwa bi a message no kan no affected. When I say anything NPP crano, so we are smarter. They should go and review Cheddar's campaign messages. No more share Niama no Kaya. Ebema almost 100,000 people. Amano. No more share say, is there something they are missing that they can craft to get such young people on their side so that Cheddar does not become a force?
Okay.
But
okay.
Yes, the Niama Eliasi for now. After our generation. Young ones no mobile no. Okoka, you see UP tradition NPP and then the prime. Who beside NPP for almost me NPP because the UP tradition they don't even found one. Why you 10% of it na catch them.
It's true.
And it's tradition in the amana more. Hey, look, young people they are looking for what you have to offer them, not your tradition.
Yeah, they don't care about those things. Yeah.
They don't care about tradition.
Yeah,
you see, you know, young people know our mindset is different.
But Elvis, so basically, Musa question they said that Gen Z near there now can they are with Ken. Or see what Elvis has confessed now. The Gen Zs identify with Ken Acheampong and will vote massively for Ken only if Ken wins the NPP delegate. Do you think so?
There's no evidence to that. That's what evidence. I'm using national election results. Me, I'm not using. I'm saying national election results. I'm using. Ken and stand in the national election man. Yeah, who that number? Me, I'm using that because Cheddar is the his first time in politics in Ghana. On the first time, I campaign for person on Manpenny in any level of politics. Cheddar on the assemblyman, on the MP, on the minister, on the fee, on your campaign via Ghana. The first campaign is the opposition president. And I make a choice. What you know, be a stalwart like Alan on the ticket. Obia now market say Alan the map and asem no money NPP for kwa penasem NDC for kwa beto man Ghana the Alan is likable candidate. Not Cheddar now we didn't give him all those attributes no. All those attributes and for Cheddar. But ko ballot paper so OBT Alan. And then I'm using
more than 2-3 times the vote that Alan got, yeah?
Exactly. And you know maybe the statistics in there kasa can to obekina ballot no yet to abaye be who say about and to say I'll have the official statistics no. I'm not for betting can the but And the Okano, and young it could be somehow to because he Gen Z is normal bano. That firebrand type of Ken, no. Social media.
But everything now advice is a Ken should not lose any firebrand, you know.
And they made the rebrand
At the beginning of it, me hear from Basa and firebrand, we must consistently follow that because I'm attracting you to the side. So Giant,
rebrand no more Ken. Some benya to say Obia like Bawumia or Yahoo Brasiano. That is not the Ken people want.
Exactly.
The campaign team, I'm telling you, the Ken people want in Ghana is the firebrand Ken. Only attempt the DNA film, but on can assembly with that kind of film, the firebrand. That is the number Gen Z for no. Akoni ho. But rebrand is like onusu benye ahumbrasia na. We were trying to model him like Bawumia, but Bawumia has taken a lead in that field. Onu on the advantage. Ken advantage. Young people say no kanu. Young people are able to comment Ken because onu assembly or can send it here.
Yes.
And if you look at it, okay, yenny attempt the film, but be that firebrand. I think that's how country be. But since the last primaries, no, I see the branding to be like toned down. Many firebrand this are. I don't think that will work for Ken.
Yeah.
Because the people now, the quality of the firebrand.
Okay.
The firebrand. And the it could be true that the young people may go because what the young people like or do is that kind of talk. It's now called social media. The young people are out there firing left and right, center and back.
Is that? Oh, Elvis. Well, Elvis, you know, article. Let's not try to get him. We were almost done with him, but my mama for some joining up, almost to share or move views. I don't know, say Doomson Abeje. Elvis, you know, aboswa, but we are praying say nye Doomson because Doomson the enemy and keko, but said the ATB. But an appear the only Elvis a trace chenchine Gen Z for no. Or more Ken side. Well, it's not what you are doing, but he's giving you free consultation. Into your be and you be smart. Or Ken Tima, you take it. Second, the position there, Ken the fame when you're organized because it's a firebrand. Maintain that minus the insult, minus attempt the and you still become one. I'm going to let Ken be Ken.
Okay.
Now let Ken be Ken. They are afraid the man time Ken. I said them the as a cocoa, I can tell you so. That is not Ken being Ken. Let Ken be Ken. Let him be the firebrand he is. Minus attempt the no. Oh, one time I'm good evening, Akwaba.
Good evening, Sister Fia.
My experience journalist. So I edit our news center.
The guy's submission, you know, it has been fantastic. I can tell you, say, man, chime you cry and baby.
Oh yeah, you understand the game. Yep.
His submission, brilliant, spot on, and well done. Also, he gave a very balanced view and not really as a all can't favor way and also can't favor way. So the submission wouldn't mean Kase or Bekama Ken or Bekama we no. He has been fantastic. We need to applaud him for the submission. Just fast forward. Yamra Masam so. I'm saying now my comment. You made a comment to be about I don't know one now say what is it Elvis here. And the point about NPP there no said now last week you know can be so Ken you have to say a cast let's Ken be Ken say you know who's the problem is a couple of days you know Ken emphasizing the issue of say
almost why NPP first on my Jimmy no yeah me on the video no
comment you know but what we have forgotten is say if Ken that is the case here at that time on was a meeting and Ken NPP for being more you and yet the whole NPP onipa ba kubi na wakwati say yes it be a wabeliki tape ama obi and this nipa ba kwa why do you insult the whole NPP?
Well, Ken what evidence say nipa ba ku na leaky tape because that tape became really a big deal.
Yeah, but I'm only emphasizing the fact say also and some be the reason people pray back to and ask you question and no because you are trying to portray yourself say and yes how the mom saying I'm utie or a video na he's saying say okọ baby no bete and will be leaky tape ni man. So the issue emphasis as not the conversation, but it's about the leakage of tape. And then you nipa back. So if even until you ask yourself, or no in the home confines and onim komo biana, obeding komo, until we should have accepted that and it should have been measured. So okay, ebi a me so kwaya me fa so kasa no. Sometimes the fact is say, oh pachawa na so admittance might not necessarily be a friend is saying a guilty, but it's a bargaining chip for you to overcome.
Because admit say he was wrong in Kasano.
Yes, of course. Okay. I think say that could have prayed good to him. Minkase bia that should be a name once or come back. Who defend it? Na say oh kase NPP dia. Why say nipa ba ko beliki tape amount? Ami abon ekoye the whole NPP institution, you know, and okay. With your matter. Okay, it's a fair question. At the same time, yeah, but to obey. Can it be said, Acheampong they are no okay. Acheampong they are no, you know, so you know, free. About Rock City issue with Snake. And also say, be pray back to NPP. A whole lot of issues. NPP for defend it. And you who free mu in the politics of the defeat of NPP. And it was last week I was emphasizing about collective nature. Obia who fought to say a body, the whole body and soul of NPP, no, and the bias you're ferry together. But what can you do? Reposition yourself. And for me, that is that now you can and now Professor Ayite, if the other question about free SHS, or see if free SHS was so successful, why did NPP lose? Who was your friend and say who was the educational minister or the education minister? That is a Dr. Addo. So you see the problems, you know. Who you who free and the communicators now or manage the various aspirants, you know, they are not helping them because the more now who be you who free mono and on the back creative problem now. Maybe the whole issues now, yeah, cannot. Now you find that Dr. Bawumia dear. What people initially thought they say opacha or no, then Akuffo reno. But also you go internally now, and Akuffo manabedia what among Akuffo benya jidie bi woni mu say, oh, waji and inform so atumo so ye bone kura no ka ho a ya nyina ya inform so momfa nche. But then the question is, yemfa nche mo die na mo pese mu ye bie mu a ana mu nye bie mu a. And that is also very, very key. Dr. Bawumia, in order to emphasize that, you know, what the BB policy be to what must say, given the opportunity, you know, now obey some sort of a year biano, obey making sure annually. So obey president here, obey meeting the grassroots, you know, or no mobile discuss it to understand them. And one thing I would told to give them the assurance. Secondly, Wasadia to also be institute a welfare system. That welfare system also no. And
you feel like he's addressing issues now. And opposition, no?
Opposition.
You are. Okay, very
That's
well.
Correct.
Yeah, very well. Very well. One in town. Mama only have because
I sister fear where you free. 3 minutes in a way you free.
Oh, background no. The time be my message do account because Elvis Ababa because when the you need do me. Breaching good evening.
Evening. It's the me Mr. Elvis pa and why boy mama in your near.
Solid.
No question, mama. Question moment is say issue of religion and tribes and the personal opinion. Also research you uncle read the Afro-Barometer report 2023. Almost say Ghana for 4% of Ghanaians they vote on religious and tribal lines. Our Afro-Barometer report 2023. The say uncle read it. I will not for so personally no. Who say we effect. I was in Ghana during the election. Sorry, my camera platforms that also for Indian sorry preach say when I go to Bama Muslim, maybe I'm Muslim, I may ask for 80% and go to Bama. If you don't have personal experience here, don't say it doesn't have any effect. Actually, secondly, so now say okay say who was question say no if you say uncle no for be so when any problem it not come off and they uncle attach here eastern region say Akuffo free eastern okay and there's no way say eastern for toma Acheampong na eastern ni for taba and they attach here campaign away this and Mr. Evan Kuti or say Akuffo refuse Easting and a core. There's no way it's a Ghana for Ebesa co Easting, you cover Acheampong about. Spend amount of Acheampong. Omontoma Bawumia. The referee Mama Zufi enough. Bama who we are and of beam. Those things, you know, intrinsic something uncle for more or mechanical. But then any new question on can't but or the way you must say once I call off no, once a man call off beam.
Okay.
After now you can about positions. Position now Obia say share responsibility and share responsibility. Even if share responsibility, Obia any rule, but we are not economy so. Bryan no agree so. Kennedy know about Ghana gas. Ghana gas, you share Kennedy inside why Ghana gas in Tia you people should bring it out. Bryan agree no, they are not saying call ya why you lose people should bring it out. And about Bawumia's economy, no. Factors we idea me lose economy. Nobody can run away from it. That the service can okay or very emphatic. Say Ghana the who by muno. Do be na me position and your position party no pekura won your campaign. O mistake na do be call. A dear mistake na the NPP for economy. Economy one head of economic management team. Anybody Bawumia.
Okay.
And there's no way say if Anna is a venue can call Bungrugu no yo no. And Crawford to my can buy the photo. Tom to my can so man 0 and then she said almost can never vote for while to man while Addo way by say omutra photo one phone super film there. And so I don't and the service on social media. And what can Crawford say or mom yeah was
they could also be lying and deceiving Ken though.
Woman trap against the rules, but try I did was what they know a banana. Also, was constituency chairman or a chairman on can campaign manager or to a northern regional minister mobile so mum can school them be the kai and on ma the room about 100%. I don't know yet can campaign manager on 0. Also, to my king, the photo image by online.
Okay.
In Yati anti-Reagan teams this time here. There's no way a boot for boot. Yeah, more be quiet.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Evans can say finally say Gen Z, you know, via or moment a chairman Sabunsu, the bank campaign that you minister be about a campaign. Or moment second on ton toes, you know, on a twabano. The service say or so who say or more one fire, Gen Z on one fire, or power 1 year you need so or never
two statistics. It's not about
no,
statistics is showing you that Ghana between 18 and 34 no. Oh, out of it, the largest.
And I'm make a journey so also Afro-Brazilian report, American religion tribe as I say, or no statistics, I'm the man. So also Pangokai. But me say or person or best a year or policy circle. Then one more on man. Almost one or more pen young people for the 2 years, the Ghana for
represented the rest of Ghana.
And I'm going to make everywhere be our person research piano. On your bones, Ghana for no problem.
I brought here be our Ghana be as a can.
There because I brought you say 12 o'clock being 80%. 50 plus 1. It is the majority, the majority for pen on a pen and I can for him said be about radio. You be a planter, you go in 37.1. I have young of 4 years. About we win hands down with us.
You breach me at you. But I think that my main fact or more so that you can respond to all the issues.
Go on. Can say the fire brand nature no and agency for no way day. Rebrand no way no. Man attack on personalities, but that fire brand nature no man and I'm saying my so or continue and no youth no the agency will be on the Sanaman.
Okay,
yes. Most of them yes, research. I cannot doubt their research. I also gave you examples say even Honorable Ken on one constituency now, no or was now one copy with the president. The parliament, the Nippon or MP was a Muslim, but I assume Central a predominantly Christian. And I'm saying there is evidence to prove that there are Muslims who have won elections in predominantly Christian communities. And they are not so kind of saying, and I'm not doubting the Afrobarometer because I know it's a credible report. But I'm also saying that evidence on the ground also shows say you can see predominantly Christian communities and MPs who have won there are Muslims. In terms of, or say, North, Mama, for example, say NDC, have never fielded a Muslim vice president. Do you know that?
Yeah, but they won the Muslim areas too.
They have always fielded Christian ticket, but they have won elections. So why is the statistics that it has to be this, it has to be, and this has never fielded a Muslim vice president or a Muslim president.
But they always win the Muslim areas, no?
Your mama is from the north, but it's a Christian. Okay? Your mama of the north is a Christian. And the NDC, both their presidential candidate and vice president candidate, Muslim ni omu take it to that. It didn't see that. And Amasakacho said, Omafa, a vice president from Central Region, President Mills, Ama Otwasu be the president. Omufa, a Central Region person in the person of Emisata, Emo be the vice president. Omusanfa Jenana from Central Region, Emo be the vice president. And if don't look at only NPP alone, look at the entire political landscape. Say NDC, both presidential and vice presidential candidates, no, they have never fielded a Muslim Christian ticket, but they have won elections. It is the NPP rather who has consistently fielded a Muslim and a Christian, but they fielded Muslim and Christians and lost elections.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about the religious aspect, like NDC should not win elections in Ghana in the presidential elections because they are the ones who have never fielded a president or a vice as Muslim. NDC is yet to Ghana a president or a vice presidential candidate who is a Muslim, but they have won elections. So if you want to look at it only from the Afrobarometer report, I trust Afrobarometer, but the reality on the ground is that which you are referring to in the report. A reflection in elections in Ghana. The NDC should never have won an election. But they continue to win elections. So you
is a Prez so because somebody sent a message say Ken Foley, no, Castle NDC feel they Alaji Mumuni in 2024, but they lost 2024.
They lost.
Alaji Mumuni, NDC lost that election. It supports the whole kind of support of this argument to making. But Sir Prince, good evening. Sir Prince.
Yeah, good evening, Sister Fia.
Good evening.
Me da se wa maya kunya me chia me offer Mr. Darkon Elvis. I think send a submission very good. One thing I now work na me hwe din me hu ni say o hwe bedi akon the wo ye timi mani be nya third position is in line with Ken ni say o say bedi akon yusu Kwame Nkrumah. We use Kwame Nkrumah in his campaign. Into Kwame Nkrumah campaign what year during that time, and I said Kwame Nkrumah position during that time was about job. And looking at the current Gen Z in Ghana, sister, here a Juma. Who can create the job? Who can get the opportunity for those kind of youth? So if you look at all the aspirants, even within the NPP, I'm talking in perspective of the NPP. Oshe NPP musisia, yeshe Bryan Acheampong, yeshe Kennedy Japan, yeshe Bawumia. Omankasa, these people, no, the job traits, which person can be aligned this with? Kennedy Japan. That is why you to the even those who are not even delegating are still vying for Kennedy Japan. And the next thing is about reliability. A candidate, when you are a candidate, you need to represent your people. Kennedy has been there consistently, being reliable to the delegate, the grassroots. Kennedy is always there for them.
And to point is winning.
Yes. So Kennedy has been there for them. And if the party wants somebody, then even after the election, any Kennedy Japan. And the next thing is about defending and straightforward. Also, Oshe Mebruna Yebana. As a penokre, but ye obi kanokrena ni niaje. Obi defendia ni niaje. So this is the kind of traitor a Mebruno. Any Genzino, yes,
okay.
Somebody who can defend us.
One person will go back to Elvis as some more kind because that's why he says, "Sadia, Ken no mama ne jai kasano. Omun strategy no. No mama Ken.
I think say Ken enjoy kasano. one thing I can say, Ken is more focused on his campaign.
No, but
no,
where he's coming from, it shouldn't just be focusing on your campaign.
No, sister, no, the entire Ken, I focus on the campaign is in the previous campaign, no, any little thing Ken will come and respond. Any little thing Ken will come and respond. And let me tell you something. One of the strategy in campaign is the moment you start responding to Sister Efia, responding to Mr. Dakono, not that you are swerving from your main message.
Okay.
It is when we are Kennedy this time around, baby obekobia every constituency no, or focus on the job. Oh, enti ni amomo be Canada. Enya no na yeti. Say no, omadane de akore. Akọ Bryan so. Say Bryan anhwe anye lucky a. On the message na anase de opese woka e kire ne manfo mo moto abama no. Onka then we to mane no. Na we ato amane no. We say fertilizer and one farmer. We say me de buy. We say economy ni say. Now this time around, Kennedy Japan is more focused on his campaign. It's no job on any penny here. It's a job on why they asem chiro.
Okay. Sir Prince, I'm now asking, Mammy Black woman, good evening.
Good evening, Sister Via.
Patrice you.
May Nana more about religion. Religion, me just say a play role power politics. NPP, the NPP for the Biomo, a fairly north, any Muslim, they say, on say, time at Rollins time, on cash and Akuffo trim say, a Acheampong party, na Acheampong Ebeje party na, on be Pam Nordness near ye, 18 of from that time, no Nordness, ni trim say, Asante for and as Acheampong, the Omon pet or Massam, in the end is in a poor Massam, in order to kill that perception. And decided to say, you better pay south and north. Anything more yes, what they say religion, and I say, but almost person kill that perception. But I think that right now, our perception may be a free. But religion still it plays role. Me treat Uber. 2023, no more better way. Me for a woman be a war. Me for any frequently echo dance woman. Enti na me de ato I think say you are the same e ko see say and I know more ka ho asem and a woman say NPP form yom kofa Bawumia yento na am say ade no say yem pese Muslim bia be na am say oh na say Muslim and dem fa ho no ontimi impose na you say no still omo de yiba de ayento oh nti say you can say in play role Ghana ha one thing is a hypocrite. Yes, I had them. I can't see by a babontin a babusa opinion. Obi am person obey. Obe can't see any in a play robot. I ask a kind of bontin. I say a sound if you didn't.
The other I said, Mr. Dakonke, NDC. Omunfa Cremoni running mate that, but they be north omu winning. Zongo areas in your time winning. Adentia.
Aha, nature exercise say. On say. Time at Rollins, ebe cool. Woman almost support ye other small tribes. No, at the time, yeah, back constitutional, you know. No one can support it. And I'm not one with the asset, Ghana food trim say, I can form pet other tribes.
Okay.
What you say? Aha, tuition was NDC, not necessarily more than any other party.
Somebody and found on bay, crown,
but religion. But NPP for now was so omutimi kele say you know na momo e pay say ya fa south na was say north na e ka ho say na be ya e betimi ya wini votes and also I work it
enti before abekwa musa nti NPP for dey why now for so betimi wini omo candidates no
candidates na dey say dey dice Bawumia our chance Kennedy nzu betimi enya chance. Because nature America and say woman quiet polling station you can say elections first on koye we no vote that and woman else akọ vote enti e dice baby maybe a second round beat me album.
Okay yo mama na ata kwa na abra wa nkomo ye de yeah that's baby Mr. Avis remember wa join this mama fa boss, udi this because when Abbas Uji celebrating Abbas until Udi Azazi, Udini Azazi in Meboa. Mamitio.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. Azazi Etio.
Yeah. In fact, at this moment, let me say a critical moment at the NPP party because Kena Yenim say or you very loudly to the point of Timika say memo or showdown. Seeing to read at this time, no. Let me say the focus no more positively kind of campaign rather than say or be responding to negativity. So I think almost every day, we hear the likes of policies are oppressor going away are oppressor and more than critics are or responding to any maybe jobs are a bit more exposable. You see, there are some critics when responding, it makes you vulnerable to the real opponent rather than opponent now who are on the same party. Yeah, so I think say that is the analogy Ken is adapting, and then it's really working for him because rather than that, obi a expect say onon bom na ka obe loud mouth no. See what you say the gimmicks and then the dynamics in the politics no as an idea no all of a sudden was switch as a obia who say Ken is now kind of a mature person in politics. Sebi menka say no onye mature, but you see there are some words or some critics when you are replying to the other, it makes you exposed to the ordinary acquire with Dabi. So you know politics more. Yeah, so Vim lady, shout out to you. Yeah.
But into force I don't know Buano, a Boacan campaign,
Oh yeah. In a positive way, he's making it in a positive way because as a Obia yenim say Sebi Usubanye yente sano ewo this time. As a wafa afutuo mo. Yes. As why Obia Sulia. All right. So that's my candid opinion. Vim lady, miss you so much.
Thank
All
you.
the best. All right.
Thank you so much, Azazi. Yeah, that's it, baby. Azazi, no. Also on the camp, can I swear you be? I'm sad. I'm Nana Kofi na me unye we no because I think I don't know. I can't pay you. Thank you so much for our time. No, Nana Kofi Pacho. Good evening. Pacho saw microphone. Where do my microphone?
Oh, good evening. Sorry. Thanks so much.
I say Jamana over time.
Oh, me age, me buy a cruncher.
Me am social scrap, so I see that you are from work. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Dark in there was a very thoughtful and insightful and intelligent way summation. But I just wanted to disagree with you a little bit. You know, in every democratic country in this world, religion and tribal plays a huge role in their politics. Take India, for instance, the biggest democratic country in the world. When it comes, any prime minister will win with his base, either Hindu or Muslim. When you go to the US, it's the same. Trump will win on the fundamental Christian alliance. The Democrats, they will always fail when it comes that. They will always look for an Irish president, Irish descendant as president. When it comes to the UK, it's the same. If you come to the area that I live in, Kent, they will never vote Labour. I'm conservative. Whether conservative they will vote. And they are also fundamental Christians. So they will never vote anybody who is a liberal person, who stands for abortion. No. then English as a whole, it is very difficult for them to vote for a Scottish parentage prime minister. Since their history, they've had only 7 Scottish prime minister, unless you are extraordinary charismatic. So when it comes to Ghana, for instance, you made mention of a friend saying Mijima in Asin Central. Mijima, if you go back, Mijima, you see, he's an MP. And see, MP does not appeal to nation. He appeals to his base. If you go to Asawasi, for instance, Munkata will win election and election and election. It doesn't matter if he was a Muslim or a Christian. The same with Mijima. Mijima is like a native of Asin Central. Acheampong was the only one who could have won. The moment Acheampong left, Mijima will win. And in Mijima crowd, the crown, he's called David Barr. Remember, so some of them, they are not even as Muslim as you think. So if you use that as a basis for your argument, when we talk about the religion and then the tribal, I don't think that is a good argument. What did I say? So coming back to
but how about NDC? They are not say they've never elected nominated Obi Oye Nana as a Muslim as a running mate, but they be only winning Muslim votes.
Yeah, no, but you see, NDC knows the trick. Remember, you see, NDC is coming from a party that is called a PNDC. PNDC had the cadres. The cadres, most of the cadres, so they had a basis. That's why NDC was a party that was created to win election. They had the cadres from the north, from the upper. For me, as a medical personnel, when I was in Ghana, I worked in upper west, upper east. There are some areas in the north that people, when I mention to people, even those from the they don't know, like overseas, for instance.
Overseas,
we
yeah.
go all the way to the overseas.
Yeah.
And when we go to certain places, there is no way MPP will win there.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people that the cadres, the CDRs, like somebody mentioned about a 31st December, they were there. They organized them. They were there, and so they are. It's part of their blood and their bone. And remember, Northern region is not a Muslim enclave. People think that the Northern region is a Muslim enclave. You'll be surprised.
Northern region Christians, there are a lot of Christians, assemblies of the Catholics and assemblies of God.
Especially
Catholics and assemblies of God.
Yeah, upper east and upper west is more even Catholic. It's even now that they've divided like Savannah and the northern, that you have a lot of Muslims. Even there are more Muslims in Tamale. But outskirts, Kushegu and the rest, when you go, even the Gonja land, if you want to go the hinterland of Gonja, they are not Muslims at all.
Yeah, they are Catholics.
Yeah, they are Catholics. They are not Muslims.
A small percentage of assemblies of God.
Yeah, the reason why, you see, NDC are very clever. The reason why they will not choose a Muslim candidate, that they know that the demographics in Ghana, I'm telling you, Ghanaians, like somebody said, is the elephant in the room, but they don't want to mention it.
Okay, if we fast track it to NPP primaries here, who do you think says dynamics will favor them?
Well, you see, when you talk about the primaries is about a delegate system.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? It's about a delegate system, whereby, I mean, they are using almost the same system that favored the incumbent candidate. Okay. So it will be very difficult for the likes of Acheampong and the rest to wrestle the power from Bawumia. But see, the NPP are making the same mistake they did in 2024. Because I'm telling you, the Christian caucus will never vote for Bawumia. And you know what? There are some areas and there are some other, COS, that they know who study about Islamic fundamentalism. They tag Bawumia to Saudi Arabia. They tag Bawumia to Qatar. And these are the main sponsors of Christian Islamic fundamentalism in Nigeria. And people tell you that we don't want to be like Nigeria. We will not. And the only way that we allow what happened in Nigeria to happen in Ghana is when we have a Muslim president.
So you think that's about me winning 2028? He cannot win.
NDC will win hands down. I'm telling you. NDC can bring anybody, apart from, unless the person is not a Muslim. NDC can bring anybody who is not a Muslim, and the NDC person will win. I'm telling you, hands down. But see, it's like in Ghana, it become like a big elephant in the room. We don't want to talk about it. But it's a huge factor. It's a novelty NPP tried. I think Akuffo tried a novelty to dispel that Akan like party. But the thing is, it won't help. You
so
get your vote
by
from
now, no, they
the
should let Bawumia go with a Akuffo Addo now come on for fresh face.
exactly, and so that they start on a clean sheet.
Okay.
Clean sheet.
Okay. Yo.
But they don't want to talk about it.
Yo. Nana mami now say I think they're very insightful perspective now. Also, they are no senka o man. Mr. Dakum, I remember but one in time we will point now person making Mr. Dakum and fire and wrap it up.
Oh, thank you, sir. What mommy snap your opportunity again. Steph, yeah, I say Ken for Akuffo. They are also refusing to accept something. And you can tone it down. But the difference you say NPP is no more in government.
Yeah.
And because of the NPP is no more in government, you cannot attack NPP. And whatever NPP Ken is doing against NPP now, NPP Ken Bawumia group, another group, will come at him and tell him, say, you were part of us.
Mr. Dakum can say the only person and committee me fire Japan.
Of
course.
Of course, because you have gotten the opportunity to get and Akuffo now is reviewing, say, look at the number of contracts within NPP. So when NPP was in government, it was difficult for NPP to come and tell this story because it will be revealing itself to the voters. But now we are all in the equal terrain. And
the system now forcing Canada Japan is all Kasabe Brombe exposing.
And that's what they are not. As a person, but I try my best not to go down that terrain because a party until say, now I'd say you are bringing the party image into disrepute, and I don't like to talk about that. But they fundamentally no my doing say, oh, yeah, can for the yet to say. I'm telling you, who's an emphasis, once apart from said Ken, a father say make creative job, no. Dear pan or dear two or quite best no make creative job, no. But we shouldn't forget about the fact to say the moment you make creative job, people also come and question and say, what crowd job now creative? I will see what creative no. You are not paying others. So where is your number? Snake even our data. A trace that number of people now will say what creative job or no. That loopholes in your chassis no more question now expose no. And tisadia obey you every ho. Now what reposition in the way say NPP for no and not to say other section to say Bawumia camp no Emma may expose and that is the hypocrisy in him.
Okay.
This is the problem. But me we no sister but we men but I'm say we can President Mahama say or Katisod or Yanyama baby. Say as of now we are you woman. Ghana is not paying our external debt. This is what you have.
Because domestic debt exchange.
And I'm bringing your mind to something. By 2026, Ghana will start paying our external
2027.
It's okay.
No,
so 2026.
2026.
Yes. It is started 2026 year. Technically, NPP has only this time, maybe this year and next year to do something. But a woman to me, and already this year is ending. So they will effectively have only 1 year for next year. Then 2026, I'm starting paying external creditors, Sikana now, ebenya and kebi omu betimi dia aye bibi wa it will go into servicing the external borrowing, and that will also be cripple omo in terms of the way omo person now 24-hour economy whatever. When we understood say the need of 4 billion or whatever now the ISR project, how are you going to do it? So
let's leave them to solve that problem. That will be their headache. Because at least chance no money and I don't think President Akuffo Pena because of HIPIC into a chance. They've got a chance, say at least there's suspension on amortization. So servicing of what now be take advantage to use it for something better. When you do it's on them.
Good. I'm just trying to tell I'm not making person draw attention. Say the can is 2028, a BNPP for home back to say that now NPP for one back NPP is smart in trying to select their candidate early. So they will have enough time to now
Okay, very well.
NDC
Very well.
all these things, it will come to play. See a
Okay.
mamo, I can't say opportunity say. I have to say I can't say a mamo, a debt service in I am forgiving. It says he can a buy and a be a money bed. There will be time people will come and there will be the accountability and the one NDC will have problem. Thank you for the second opportunity.
Thank you. Time maybe could do Mr. Dako. Yeah, me too. Final like wrap up thoughts on yinina.
If you are on religion and some amount for canon, people get it wrong. They compare Ghana to America, UK, and the rest. You see, the difference is they forget those parties they talk about in those countries, their political ideology message is based on the ideology of the party.
Yeah.
Ghana, NDC, they have not actually preached the ideology to their people. So people don't vote on whether it's abortion or LGBTQ or whether borders should be open. That's not why we vote in Ghana. So the reason why people vote has nothing to do with religion in Ghana. Because it's religion that says abortion is bad, LGBT. So the Republicans will tap on that. The parties in the UK that are aligned will tap on messages, and the people are voting based on those messages.
Yeah, but now, also, Nana Kofi said refer who said people who are very religious. For instance, okay, I said 2024, there were messages. I think Bishop Owusu and Sana exposed, he said, churches platform where they were saying,
and then they are so better, and then they are so better, and because now voting both and I'm the better. Something,
yeah, but any influence, cry.
Yeah, I mean, my example say I was influencer. And then at NDC, they've never had a presidential candidate that's a Muslim.
Okay.
They've never had a vice president that's a Muslim. But they win elections.
Because of how it was formed out of
religion. So it has nothing to do with religion. I'm trying to tell you, religion is different from whether they have a cadence base. Some people are cadence based. What has cadence base got to do with religion?
Well, okay.
Cadence base is a religious authority, Anna.
No.
Say no religion.
Yeah. Because they managed to make inroads in the religious area settlements.
There is nothing like that. That's what I'm telling you. Say a religion and the NPP, yeah, NPP a party. We are against LGBTQ. We are against abortion. We are against this. But in our political dispensation, they don't know the position of their party on those ideological issues.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Parties don't talk about ideological issues in their campaign. It's the open religion. Religion is a result of ideological positions taken by political parties. And let the religion be. But in Ghana, the parties have no ideological position espousing campaign. And how then does it bring in religion? It's cadence based. Cadence based, it has nothing to do with religion. And need to be about religion. And he himself has admitted that there are a lot of Christians. If the idea that maybe everything was having low votes up north. Everybody saying. And that's how people want to do religion, do the empirical evidence. The countries are already an example. They have made religion part of the party's messages, because the message they preach, it aligns with certain religious beliefs. But NDC NPP, message when preaching during campaign has alignment with religious beliefs. It's only last election that LGBTQ came. LGBTQ, NDC should lose the elections because NDC as a party, social democrat, promote LGBTQ all over the world. And the NDC has no business condemning LGBTQ because
but they did condemn it, yeah.
NDC is an ideology. People shouldn't vote for NDC for condemning LGBT, but they are being hypocrites because the ideology they belong to are social democrats. Promoting LGBTQ. And the NDC now made a U-turn from their ideological basis and they are condemning LGBT. How should they win an election?
Okay.
The religion issue back Ghana politics. It doesn't work because
dynamics are different.
You're more preaching among for someone to abandon. It's not based on issues that are linked to religion. It's not linked to religion. But for America, the Republicans will tell that abortion is their message. Using of contraceptive is their message. LGBTQ is the American. That's why the church in America will align with the Republican Party. Because church, is against all these vices. And the party here preaching, and only aligning. It is like the church in America doesn't align with the Democrats. And in Ghana here, campaign, and how does religion come in? And people should stop confusing religion and tribe.
Okay,
Tribe
yeah.
and religion are not the same thing. And it's a matter for a tribal argument. They should make it, but they shouldn't confuse tribe or cadence base with religion. And they're the same thing. And yeah, just that kind of confusion. And what?
But Mr. Addo, do you think that 2028 LGBT issue no be sound babium?
Because the Sesiano, the truth has been exposed. What they are saying, already a campaign 2024. Akuffo say me a private members bill into me signing. So what they are saying, or the or just say or my age and the parliament. My son there vote to a next now or be signing. You have to have my BBC ko interview or say bill no pro nim the bill no. BBC bisa say by the contents of the bill, don't you know that it infringes on human rights? Or people know he doesn't even know the content of the bill. And if he doesn't know the content of the bill, they are not promised to be signed.
But I guess they brought the bill back to Parliament again.
See, Catholic bishops echo the honomono or see or no as Mahamano bill. This is Attorney General Parliament as an or be signing. And what's the difference between the Ononi Akuffo air position? What they are saying? The time Mama say bill no. Say bill, ye nyam pass here, and a parliament term and the I because the bill no sunu ewu. Mama yarega onu represent a buy or parliament say bill no parliament we nejuma wa pass it. And the president need responsible be sign it. And the new omo de aba no omo accept it. It's a big test for President Mahama now to see. Because now your own majority that say onu ni mra no ti ase say bill no ye nyam pass here by parliament e ye wu ejuma. And now parliament need to back end and now because the bill to the parliament they went away together. But only by the understanding of law, and this position was espoused by Biden in 2024, why Akuffo was not signing it. And people say, and the parliament rise here, that will be the end of the bill. Biden made the point, say it can't be the case. Legally, no, parliament has completed work on the bill.
Exactly.
So it's left the president to sign. And today,
so now you are saying that President Mahama has been exposed by the bill, no? And then the things they said they've been exposed.
Because the things he said in opposition is that two Obama me are signing. You have two Obama BBC maybe say when are you going to Uber signing bill now? Now what kind of bill name will say and if you also bill no only content? It is the only content. What promise was he making so Uber signing say two Obama now? Now it's a Catholic Bishop Conference maybe Sawa who say and the Obama this Attorney General the court parliament. They were the same position Akuffo to take it say or no one signing private members bill on the issue. This is a court age. Most Akuffo to promote LGBT person signing. But Mahama has come to the same Akuffo position. And the Mahama has been exposed. NDC has been exposed. And I'm happy to say their own representative in parliament, the leader of NDC in parliament say, I throw challenge to Mahama so signing bill no, because parliament is really on the bill. Let's see how NDC themselves, if they are not careful, they will throw themselves into opposition because of all these things. Because now your majority like they won't accept the new bill. Oh, wait, you know. Politics free one. Now the nationalistic view Eddie ya. And kabe boy time Akuffo do kaso on private members bill of Elisa Attorney General ne so ye. Now can you na just okay. And the moment Attorney General, but it can be a bill no. Are you ready? But over 9 months one year only. Now say e bi mu di akọ. O majority like say on into because bill no parliament e wie nejuma. They are an arm of government. They decide their own rules. O ma wie ejuma to woman pay for signing. They say, or the serious problem on President Mahama because we did politics with LGBT. And then they say, Yama Bebre Wawa, perspectives. Perspectives are very important. And the religion, ever Ghana politics. I say NDC has never fielded a president or a vice president in Ghana who is a Muslim. But they're the one who win in the Muslim communities. Okay. Yet they also don't preach any message. They also don't preach any message that is related to religion. NPP does not preach any message that is related to religion. So why is the religion there? In the countries now, religion play a role. It's because the parties have taken ideological positions that align with religion. And that is why the religious authorities back their message.
Next week, Wednesday. Let's do a part 2 of this. Why? Let's
No
do a
problem.
part 2 of this. I cannot pay you for your time. Thank you so much.
No.
Why? I
Okay.
really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Also, me catch Dr. Father Dixon say, why you need na? Thank you. Why? Thank you so much. You, Mr.
Thank you.
Bezak, editor, our news center. To move follow the newspaper, no, online, we call Google News Center. All the big stories now, you see it on the front page. Mr. Dako, thank you so much. My colleague in this job, Menena Yejuma, covering elections, so my very deep person. No way, you know, Kenya, he's saying it off the cuff. A good institutional memory. That's what a smart journalist does. Very fantastic guy. I'm never disappointed to learn from him. Because from each other. But I always love speaking to him because onim the all can. Thank you so much, Mr. Vedako. Also, I'll join you. Be a breach me said me who said Prez more back, but time now we ain't but Wednesday, Mr. Dako be back. Yabba back with the headlines in his newspaper and Yabba sign at us to BMT. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. Name more time. When you're Eddie Amanya next week, Yabba sign at us with another fantastic discussion. BMT. Thank you. Thank you so much.